Nothing happening yet, but hopefully that's about to change very, very soon on my screen. We're waiting for this stream to kick in. It says everything's working, but for whatever reason we're not getting it. Let me know if you can see it. Let me know. See if we can get the live comments up. Oh, there's always something, Well, it should be working because I've got the live comments up, so that's helpful. And yeah, we're working. I can see it. Okay. Afternoon, guys, says Sander Sagers. Is the team news out? Not as yet. It will be out very soon. In about 4 minutes' time. Not masses of news. Obviously, Chelsea winning earlier on, which is, I think, a good bit of news, controversial or not. 9 points ahead of Liverpool. I think the main thing for me is that it's that Liverpool don't win the league. But who knows? Manchester United could catch Liverpool. That's what we're looking for. Andrew Thompson's got very mixed feelings about this game. Expand, Andrew. Why? Why are you so mixed feelings about it? I think a lot of people are saying that it's going to be a draw, a tight game. I've got a funny feeling that sometimes when it's like that, we might go and win 2 or 3-0. Having said that, we might lose the game. I don't think we will, but my score prediction is 2-1 to Manchester United. I think the common sense one is 1-1. But Marcel needs to start, says AL's Fon. I would agree with that. However, I think we will see the same team as Wednesday. There are horrible rumours going around there. It's a bit like Ebola that Fellaini might start, which we don't want that to happen. But Chris Smith says, are we playing the strong lineup or are we going to play an experienced lineup? I'd like to see Martial start. I think it's a really, really good point. Ross will be joining me in a minute with the team news as soon as it kicks in, which will be in about 3 minutes. But realistically, the team should be Valencia coming in at right back because Bay's injured. The same back four as Crystal Palace with Blind at left back and Jones and Rojo. De Gea. That brilliant midfield of Carrera. That'd be a good player, wouldn't it? Carrick and Herrera. I've just invented a new player. He's a cracker. But Carrick, Herrera and Pogba as the midfield. Mata on the right. I expect it'll be Rooney. I'd play Martial and Zlatan up front. And I'd be happy-ish with that side. I'd like to see Martial on the bench though, because I thought the bench was quite weak against Palace. It really lacked pace. Rashford's not a winger for me, and Lingard I'd rather see Tony Martial. So drop a like on the video if you're joining us. Quite a few joining now. Obviously it's a watch along. This is massively about you. Your live comments are going along there. Coco is there, and we'll have the team news with you imminently. Awesome guy. I really hope Fellaini will start. Doesn't start, sorry. I nearly threw him under the bus there. Fellaini to start because of his height, says Jack Halpin. Well, you know what? While we're at it, why don't we go and get one of the Chicago Bulls to come and play? I mean, since when has football ever been about height? Ridiculous comment. We're Manchester United. 99. No height apart from the centre-backs. Barcelona, the best side I've ever seen in my life. No height. I get fed up if we've got to play somebody for height. We're Manchester United. We shouldn't be bothering about height. We should be blitzing teams with ability and not worried about playing somebody who only gets paid as a footballer because he's 6'3" with an afro with adding another 2 bit on it. You know, he's rubbish. Absolute terrible player. Should not be in a United shirt. And I will never, ever accept the fact that he should play just because of height. Manchester United in my whole lifetime has never done that, and Sir Alex Ferguson would certainly never do it. You don't pick somebody just because they're bloody tall. You've got to be able to play the game. Alex Ferguson has said that Fellaini starts. I really will be not very happy if that happens, and I will be exploding. There'll be shakes of the head. I've got people with me today watching the game as well, and I'm sure as I look to my right, there would be a shake of the head, wouldn't there, if Fellaini came on. In fact, I'm sort of writing my tweet now. Team news imminent. I really hope that's a joke. There's jokes, but this is Christmas. Let's not start joking. He's not starting. De Gea, Valencia, Jones, Rojo, Darmian in for Blind. Oh, what do we think of that? Carrick, Herrera, Lingard, Pogba, Rooney. He's dropped Mata. My God. Drops Mata. Martial's on the bench. Fellaini's on the bench, and Blind's on the bench. I tell you what, for a start, I'm not happy about that, lads. I'm not happy with that at all. I don't know what, and girls, not happy with that team at all. Mata dropped is the line. Mata and Blind dropped. I mean, it's not just Mata, it's Mata and Blind dropped. you back the manager. You got to go with that. You got to back with the manager, and of course we need to win today. And I hope he gets it right. But for me, I just don't understand. The Darmian one is more of a concern, I suppose, in many ways. But we shouldn't be dropping Blind for Darmian, who I think's I like Darmian, but I just think he's an atrocious defender. And he was absolutely shocking against Spurs, and he was at fault for the goal against Crystal Palace. And Daley Blind, as far as I'm concerned, was flawless. Absolutely flawless against Palace. So I'm surprised. We need Martial, says Carl Lee. He is on the bench, so that's a positive. But at this stage of the affair, it's only fair to bring on somebody else to get their opinion. So hopefully we'll be able to get Ross on. He's a Rooney lover for a start, and he's always quite positive. Hopefully he's not listening at the moment while I'm trying to get him on the show. But we'll get his thoughts on the team. Ross, can you hear me?
Hey Mark. Yeah, I do.
I'm very well. Have you seen the team?
I haven't yet. No, I'm just clicking on it now. Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, I'll read it out for those people who aren't too sure about it themselves as well. So it's hold on a minute. Close that. Okay. It's De Gea in goal, Valencia at right back, Darmian left back, Jones and Rojo, Carrick, Herrera, Pogba, Lingard, Rooney, Zlatan.
Excellent.
So you're happy with that?
Yeah, I'm pleased to see Carrick in there. There was the worry that there might be a Marouane Fellaini situation going on today, but it's good to see Carrick playing 3 times in 1 week. He's obviously shown his fitness in training, and he's shown Mourinho that he's, even at the slender age of 35, he's still well up to the job. So that's the one positive for me. It's the same midfield. I kind of agree with the Lingard thing as well. I just think Mata gives us a lack of width, and it kind of disrupts our play. So overall, yeah, absolutely ecstatic with that, and it's good to see some sort of, like I say, consistency in the defence. Even though personally, I wouldn't have picked Darmian.
Yeah, I mean, Mata didn't play particularly brilliantly against Palace. Not unlike a lot of people, to be fair. But I'm a little bit disappointed with the Darmian one. I mean, let's talk about that, because I suppose that's the hot off the press one. For me, Daley Blind played very, very well. And I thought he dropped Darmian because he didn't play very well against Spurs. Blind comes in, plays well. Bailly was at right back, so Valencia coming back shouldn't really impact on his moving Darmian over to the right, because Darmian didn't start. What do you think that decision? What do you think Mourinho's thought process is? Is Darmian a bit taller than Blind? I'm just trying to sort of scratch around a bit. I don't think he did enough to get dropped. Is what I'm talking about. And I can understand the Mata one, because Lingard gives us a bit of pace. Although why not just put Rooney on the right and put Martial on the left? I mean, it's a sad state of affairs that Lingard is starting ahead of Rashford and Martial, but that's his funeral, really. Hopefully it will work out. But the Darmian for Blind one, we're not being negative. We're just fans who are used to have this with Sir Alex Ferguson's teams as well. Just highlighting a few things. But the Darmian one, I mean, you might be quite happy about it.
No, I'm not. I think Blind is an all-round better left-back, and I think he gives us so much more, especially in a game like West Brom, where I know we don't score a lot of set-pieces, but they might be key, and Blind's delivery of a ball is absolutely fantastic. And he just gives us, let's not forget, it was Blind's through ball to Pogba, which set up the Ibrahimovic winner, and I think Blind just gives us a better range of forward passes in that defensive line than Darmian, because he's absolutely useless going forward. Now, he's always been picked for how well he's been doing defensively, but out on the left, he looked shot to pieces. Well, he did against Sissoko, and by any means, I don't think he's a great player. So maybe, do you know what? I can't make a decision on it. I don't know why he's picked him. I can't think of any logical reason as to why he'd pick him. Maybe a little bit quicker if we get hit on the break, potentially. I'm not too sure.
So the team news is whizzing along the bottom of the screen for you now. It's not Bailly at right back. I better change that. But it's Valencia. But the subs bench is one I wanted to draw your attention to as well. Schweinsteiger, unused sub on Wednesday night, not on the bench again today. Totally left out. Ashley Young as well, left out. Chris Smalling back in. That's interesting. Good to have a centre back involved. So Smalling's basically come in for Schweinsteiger, I suppose, as part of the squad, and then Martial in for Young, which I think we would all agree with. So I'm not the bench is better than Wednesday for me because you've got Rashford there, you've got Martial there, you've got Mata there, and Blind and Smalling are good. But looking at the starting 11, I've got no issues with Rooney, and I know you're a big fan of Rooney, Ross. I've got no issue with him starting. I just think I'm slightly concerned about Darmian, but you know what? Hopefully he'll do quite well. What's your thoughts about this game? Are you concerned about it? I know we've not spoken since the Palace game, and I think at half-time was the last time we spoke. So we've obviously gone on and won that game. A lot of people speaking to today. In fact, I've got a couple of conversations I've had in the people with in the pubs over the last couple of nights about United, which I want to bring up. But I've heard United fans speaking to me today, actually, saying that a point would be a good result. Now, for me, a point away to West Brom, the way they're playing at the moment, I thought they were unlucky to Chelsea. They played well in the week. I think a point at West Brom may not be a bad result, but because we've dropped so many points in the past, I think it's a must-win.
Absolutely, 100% must win, and I think our season will be defined, in games like this. And I know West Brom are on a good run of form, but let's not forget, look at the array of talent in our starting lineup. We should be beating West Brom. There's no doubt about it. And regardless of how well West Brom play or how well United play, a draw will feel like 2 points lost, regardless, I believe. So it is a massive game for us today, and it's the late kick-off, so we get to see what all the other results are, and it's gone like clockwork. Chelsea have won, so that kind of adds that little bit of pressure again. So they've got to get right fired up for this. It's the last game before Christmas, and just go out there and give it their all, to be honest. And I'm chuffed to see Rooney on the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not so chuffed because I think he's finished. But I'm not bothered about him not starting. I actually, on reflection, the Mata one's not the one for me. I know a lot of people like Mata. I'm very, very happy that we've kept that what for me is the biggest performing midfield in the league at the moment, which is Carrick, Herrera, and Pogba. I'm very happy about that. Zlatan has to play, and I think actually, I probably wouldn't have picked Lingard. I probably would have moved Rooney to the right and put what's his face, Martial on the left. But at least he is trying to put a little bit of pace in there. And Lingard is a hard worker, so you know what? There we go. The Darmian one concerns me though, but I don't really know a lot. I'm not going to profess to know a lot about West Brom. I don't think they've got amazingly good, tricky wingers, etc. So hopefully we will be all right. Let's have a look at some of the comments before I come back to you, Ross. Lorcan Sherry's not happy about Martial not starting. At least he's on the bench. I think that's a positive. I thought he was totally dropped on Wednesday. At least he's on the bench. Come on, United, please win, says Aaron. Good to see Smalling back, says Joel, definitely. And it's a must win. Not happy with the starting 11, says Michael Eyre. Give us a little bit more than that, Michael, so we know. Mark, why do you think Lingard is playing? Andrew Jackson says, I think it's totally to do with pace. And he wants to keep Rooney out on the left. Shut up, Mark, and stop hating on Fellaini, says Jason O'Neill. I haven't mentioned Fellaini, but if you want a bit of that, I hate him. He's crap, and he shouldn't be anywhere near the Manchester United bench. There you go. The lineup is a recipe for disaster, says Dav. OK, he's not said any more than that, Ross. I mean, I know. Why do you think people aren't happy with the team? Can you look into your crystal ball and see where people might be confused? Because actually, there are only two changes from Wednesday night, and Lingard gives us a bit of pace. And we've got Valencia back in, who is better than Bailly at right back, so that's a positive. And the Darmian for Blind is really the only concern I have.
I think one matter, I agree with him being on the bench like you, but I think he is a bit of a fan favourite. But Mourinho just sees him as a bit of a chipolato who's too small for the team, and I think that's why he doesn't get into these games. And it's a big game for Lingard as well. And I think a lot of fans, would have liked to have seen Rooney on the bench and seen Martial start. But the only reason why I'm pleased to see Wayne Rooney is just the small signs against Crystal Palace that he was getting his anger back. And I think that's the state we need Wayne Rooney in, that fire that his performance should come with. So, yet again, we sort of fingers crossed and we hope, and there's a lot of hoping with Wayne Rooney. And you know what, the exclusion of Martial, I know it's got a lot of sort of United fans backs up, but I think Mourinho's sort of excluding players, he got Mkhitaryan one absolutely spot on, so we can't argue that one. And I just hope he's giving Martial, a little bit of the same treatment, a bit of exclusion, a bit of, there is other players in this team that can play for you. So Martial really has to fight. And I think if we get the same reaction from Martial as we did Mkhitaryan, then it will be an absolute masterpiece as well. But I can see why there's a few unhappiness with the lineup. We'd all want to see Schweinsteiger on the bench. We all want to see Fosu Mensah. But while we're winning games, I'm not going to argue too much. And we have 1-2 on the bounce, and it's very much the same sort of team. I know there's the odd change. It's Lingard, but it is the same team. So based on that, I can't really grumble too much.
No, I mean, I think you look at that United lineup for me, and there's there's 3 changes I would ideally like to see. That would be Blind at left back, and it would be Mkhitaryan on the right. It would be Martial on the left, and I think that is the team that we saw against Everton that can do really, really well. Martial, for whatever reason's been taken out, and hopefully he'll work his way back in. Mkhitaryan is injured. The Daily Blind for Darmian one, I don't understand. I don't agree with it, but I think you'll very rarely, as a fan, actually have a starting lineup that you totally agree with. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy with it. And for me, you know what? I think we really are in that situation. I was saying it earlier, but we've beaten Spurs, we've beaten Crystal Palace. They were really positive wins. I think if we win this game tonight, we will beat Sunderland and Borough at home. They are totally winnable games. That'd be 5 wins in a row, something we've really not done for a long, long time. So I would be really, really pleased if we can do that, and I hope we can. But I've lost Ross. I'll bring him back. So yeah, you're never really going to get the team that you want, but definitely very, very happy with what we're doing. And I think ultimately for me, it really is about getting a result tonight. That's what it's all about. And if we can get a win, I think it almost defines our season, in a sense that I really do think we will get top 4 if we win tonight, because City and Arsenal, they can't both get 3 points tomorrow. Liverpool, Everton, you would hope Everton would get something from that, and we're closing the gap in again, and that's really what it's all about. Jason O'Neill saying we didn't beat Burnley or Stoke at home, so not so sure. Well, I totally understand that, but I think we're a bit different team to what we were then, and anything can happen in the Premier League, but we should be expecting to beat those sides for sure. Let's see if we can get Ross back while I'm waiting there. I take a 1-0 win right now, says Jay Daly, which is something I would agree with. Way too much hate on Lingard, says Risa. Yeah, you know what? I think Lingard, again, was something I was talking about earlier. He's not necessarily I'd want to sell. He's not somebody I would have in a starting 11, but I'm more than happy for him to stay as a bench player, and I'm more than happy with that. If Mickey was here, I'd be confident of a decent win, says Anthony Evelyn. Let's get Ross back. Hi Ross, don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it's my internet. Sorry about.
That's alright, don't worry about it. Must win game tonight, says Kevin McGee. Ronaldo Prime is the best ever footballer, says Matt Baz. What's the lineup, says Daniel. It's going along the bottom of the screen there, but effectively, well, factually, it is De Gea in goal, Valencia, Jones and Rojo, Darmian in for Blind, Carrick, Herrera and Pogba that midfield, which is so important. Rooney on the left, Lingard comes in for Mata on the right, and Zlatan up front. Schweinsteiger removed from the bench, Fellaini remains, Smalling comes in with Blind on there with him, and it's Mata, Martial and Rashford. So I think it's a very strong bench apart from Fellaini, but you might have to just feel your way out in this game anyway, Ross. I mean, a lot of people are obviously wanting us to go and win the game in the first 45 minutes. I've got a funny feeling we might win this 2, or we could win it. Everyone's expecting a tight game, so it wouldn't surprise me if we scored 2 goals early on and got the game won. That wouldn't surprise me. But realistically, I think most people are expecting a very tight game. So if you put a team out like he's put out for the first hour and it's 0-0 whatever, there's lots of options off the bench for him, and that might be playing into our hands really.
Yeah, definitely. It's a game that's going to go either way. West Brom will sit back, and it's up to us to attack them. And I think the first 15-20 minutes will be critical, and we will get a big chance. And it's up to us to take this chance, because every game we seem to get a huge opportunity in the first 10 minutes and not take it, and then that sets the precedent for the whole game. But hopefully, Pogba will have his wizard's hat on, bit of Harry Potter work, and put Ibrahimovic through a few times, which would be excellent for us. And so I think it's going to be very much a counter-attacking game by West Brom. Lots of aerial balls. Every free kick is going to be every man in the box for them, because it's going to be their big opportunity. So big games today for Rojo, likes to give a lot of fouls around the edge of the box. He needs to cut that out of his game completely today, because then fouls will turn into goals very quickly with a team like West Brom. So, yeah, definitely that. And it'd be nice for us to see sort of United, take impotence on our set pieces, because we haven't scored a set piece in so long. I think the last one was actually Leicester City, which I think was Pogba's header. So I'd like to see that. And just more of the same, to be honest. I don't really care either way. I don't care if we win 4-0, and I couldn't care less if we won 1-0 with a 90th minute goal. It's all the same to me. 3 points is 3 points, and we just need this going into Boxing Day.
Yeah, I don't know what I've done. I've got you back now. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'll just have a look at some of the comments. Mega Gay Boy, I nearly said. Mega Gabby Boy says, hopefully the ref isn't shocking today. Shuab says, worst backline we could have. We could have some City players in there. It could be worse. D1 Jan says, hey Mark, you're too harsh on Lingard. I'm not harsh on Lingard. He's not a first team player for me. He's a squad player. Squad player for Manchester United. So I think most of us would be happy with that. Rooney over Rashford, says Annabelle. United are doing good. I would settle for a 1-0 win, says Little 2 Drew. Rojo is trying to get a red card so that he can enjoy the Christmas quietly in his house, says Tapas. He better not get a red card. I mean, third time and out, I think, with that one if he does it again. Man United Herbert says Mark betting. I've not managed to set anything up with a company yet, which I'm trying to do so I can get you some favourable odds if you're into that. Me and Ross do this actually, so let me think. What would my tip bet be? I'll always try and give you two. I think I am going to go. I did it on Wednesday and I was right. I'm going to go Zlatan to score at any time. I'm not too sure what odds you would get on that. Maybe my odds man can figure that one out. And I would also go with both teams to score. Don't know about you, Ross.
I'm a creature of habit, to be honest, and I put on Wednesday that Zlatan would score first, and I put that we would win with the other team scoring no goals, which I obviously lost both bets on Wednesday, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. So there you go. Zlatan to score at any time, and I think both teams will score. I've just got a funny feeling. Matthew has just said, why is Mourinho obsessed with Darmian? Well, I don't think he is. He wasn't using him at all at the start of the season. So, I think people obviously do good things in training and obey the manager, because Fellaini obviously does, let's be honest. He obviously works hard in training and goes and fetches all the cones and puts the balls in the bags at the end of the day and, washes everybody's car and gives it a good old buff because, he obviously is doing something, isn't he? I would argue that it's what you do on the pitch that matters, and I've not really seen Fellaini ever do anything of any use. All I can say about Darmian is I was a big fan of Darmian when he came to the club. I wanted him to do well because no Italian defenders especially ever have in the Premier League. He started off quite well. I think Van Gaal sort of messed around with his confidence a lot. And then I think that he's not really a left back, he's a right back. And I thought he was atrocious against Spurs. I've got to be honest, I thought he was really bad against Spurs and he could have cost us the game if they'd actually turned up with a forward. And on Wednesday night, people are trying to blame Jones for letting his runner go or Pogba letting his runner go. But watching it back, Darmian lets his man come inside and he doesn't do very well with the header just before that. So it appears to me, Ross, that in some ways it's quite commendable because you think about what Fellaini did a couple of weeks ago against Everton, and I don't care what anybody says, we'd won that game, and petulance and stupidity in the penalty box cost us 2 points. But Mourinho doesn't seem to be that sort of manager that if you make that big mistake, you're not going to get another look in. It's more about whether he likes you as an individual, and he clearly likes Fellaini and he clearly likes Darmian.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're seeing a side full of sort of the training workhorses, because we could never have picked this starting lineup at the start of the season, to be honest. And you're looking at Rojo and Jones, and they must be doing something right in training, 100%, because they wouldn't be starting in this team. I don't think their performances are good enough to warrant that. If it was me, I'd be putting sort of Smalling, trying to edge him back in and edge Rojo out, but it's not going to happen. He obviously's got 100% faith in Rojo, and that must be coming back. Rojo must be sort of showing 100% faith in Jose, and as a manager, you would absolutely love that, to be honest, and that's why you would pick players. And I think Jose, and he's done this throughout his career, and he's done it especially at Inter Milan, kind of likes the underdog players. That he likes to, turn sort of players that are mediocre into players having worldy performances. Still mediocre players, mind, and which is what we're seeing with sort of the Martials, and we kind of worried that this might affect, players like Martial coming into Jose Mourinho's reign. I think we're starting to see that because I think with these players that have these huge contracts and come with these huge fees, Mourinho expects so much of them. And when they don't deliver, he'd rather put in a Jesse Lingard, who is average at best, but then have them try their hardest and see the work effort and kind of show these players, hang on, mate, Jesse Lingard's playing just as well as you at the minute, and that should not be happening. So I just wonder if there is that aspect to it, because there's some players that, like you say, Fellaini and Rojo get a massive sort of arm around the shoulder from Mourinho and are well looked after. Then players like Luke Shaw, who do sort of one thing wrong, just get completely thrown under the bus. And I do say I think he does that because his expectations of players like Shaw are so high, and he wants to extract that out of them. And for players like that, anything but excellent isn't good enough. Where the Marcus Rojos, he almost expects a mistake, and he isn't going to punish them for it.
Brad Hill says, I think we'll win 2-1, which is my score prediction if people want it. Tracy Connolly says, the United stand, Toby Alderweireld to Manchester United, yes or no? Give me an answer. Yes, but it won't happen. Australia kickoff is 4:30am, says Little Moran. Dan DeMan says, I think Mata would have been perfect in this game if they sit back, because in spaces creates 50-50 chances. I agree. Tony Cool Guy, how the hell is Lingard starting over Martial? Tesla Ray Gunn says, I can see a 0-0 draw. D1 Jane says, well, we can still be back in the title hunt if we win the next 5 games. But I think we just focus on top 4, to be honest, and that's what winning today's about. But anything's possible. We need a performance, which we did at Swansea, says Man United Herbert. I can see Rojo early red, says Manac 600. It's interesting about Rojo, and obviously Ross was just talking about it then. I really think he's in a very strong position there because he's left-footed and he's in the left-sided centre-back position. You can definitely play with 2 right-sided footers, Vidic and Ferdinand, Pallister and Bruce. So it can happen. But he's in a position where I think it's going to take a big mistake for him to get dropped, and hopefully that won't be today. But if he doesn't make mistakes and we keep winning, I'm more than happy with that. Apparently, I'm not going to name bookmakers because we're not linked in with anybody, but apparently you can get almost even money on Zlatan to score at any time. I think it's basically if you put a tenner on, you can get £9 back. So I think that's a fantastic bet. That's my tip for today. Good comeback from Leicester, 2-0 down, and with 10 men drew 2-2. I didn't know that. Is that true? That's a good result.
Yes.
That is a good result. West Ham won.
Sunderland won.
Sunderland won. That's bad news, Moyes. Then again, we're playing them next week, so they'll be really happy with their 3 points, and they might. Hopefully, I reckon what Moyes might come to. He might come and play really expansive football at Old Trafford to try and show everybody what he could have done if we'd given him more time. He won't. He'll just park the bus and try and scab it. But Laura Baker's on about. Sorry?
You could probably try and put in about 400 crosses.
Yeah. Laura Baker's mentioned Berbatov. Well, Berbatov has been at Manchester United a lot over the last week or so, and apparently he's there again today. I don't know. Is he going to be on a contract in January? I don't know. It'd be very odd. Very good player, but it didn't work out when he was here that well, and he's got no pace. But who knows? Apparently he's training with the team as well. So watch this space with that one. Really do. We've got a few minutes, so I just want to touch on something else a little bit here. I was down the pub last night, as I have been quite a lot recently, with it being Christmas, and we were talking about my favourite player, which a lot of you lot reckon here, and talk about him. And Marcus Rashford's my favourite player at the moment. I think Mkhitaryan's got the potential to be. I love Ander Herrera and Michael Carrick and like that, but Rashford for me, I think when you look at this year, 2016, burst on the scene this year, it feels longer. He's scored debuts virtually everywhere. Fantastic player. I think he's being played out of position at the moment. I think that's the problem with him. He's not getting to play up front enough. But the question was posed to me, is he just going to be the next Federico Macheda, who, burst on the scene, did quite well, and then we won't really see much of him? I would say a big fat no. I think if he was playing for anybody other than Manchester United, he'd be playing week in, week out, and he'd be the best striker in England, which I think he is. But your thoughts on that, Ross, in relation to Rashford? Are you starting to have any concerns yet?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this earlier, and I was thinking about a potential Rashford loan move and if it would benefit him. And that does concern me because I think if he went to sort of a struggling team like Sunderland, who have basically ruined Januzaj's career, would it do the same for Marcus Rashford? And I think the jury's out on that, to be honest. But I'd worry if Rashford could carry, such a struggling team forward. So I don't think alone. He's the sort of player that needs to be protected by the Manchester United curtain and just brought through us. I don't think that he needs to go away because I think that would, kind of ruin his career. I think Januzaj had to go out on loan and prove us that he was worth something, and he's proven us absolutely nothing. But I think Rashford just needs to be protected. And he's not my favourite player, but I agree that he's still a fantastic talent and definitely been played out of position.
Yeah, I mean, Peake says, Mark, people are saying Rashford is a half-season wonder. I think that's really harsh. I mean, he scored that goal against Hull. I know it was a tap-in, but, I think if you actually look at how many times he's played up front this season so far, I think that's the massive problem. Kevin Wilkes says, if Rashford doesn't play up top, he's being wasted, which I agree. Berbatov is doing his coaching badges apparently at United, says David Greer. If Rashford goes on loan, we have no one to come in if Ibra is unavailable. I don't think he is going to go on loan by any means, and Sandeep makes that. Duwang Jan says he loved Fosu Mensah. I think Fosu Mensah should go on loan because if he's not going to be on the bench, he's ready. I don't understand that one at all.
Just on the loan thing, actually, I was thinking the same thing. If you took Fosu Mensah and put him in that Sunderland team in centre midfield, I think he could absolutely rejuvenate that, and he'd probably be the best midfielder they've got because you look at their midfield and it's shot to pieces, and he's an absolute beast, and he'd turn their team round.
What team's that?
Sunderland.
Yeah. I just don't. I feel worried about any player going to play under Moyes. Yeah. It can cause a lot of damage to you. But I don't know. There are teams he could go and play for. Hull, teams like that chuck him in the midfield like you say, and I think he'd be a revelation. I'll be very disappointed if Fosu Mensah doesn't go on loan in January, and I think he is ready. I think he should be playing for Manchester United, but I think it's abundantly clear he's not even going to be on the bench for Mourinho this season. Get him out in January, give him a few months. Look at Pereira. He clearly wasn't going to play him, and as much as I'm a fan, and I think you are as well, Ross, that loan move's been brilliant for him because he's playing week in, week out. And I think if he'd stayed here, we'd be going, why didn't he use Pereira? He's not on the bench again, and a bit of a Fosu Mensah. So there we go. I mean, Von Modest says Rash not good enough. Disagree, but fair enough. And Man United Herbert says, Mark, apparently Mourinho is called Lindelof, which is a centre-back. I'd be concerned about that. He's the least out of the centre-backs I profiled a couple of weeks ago that I would want. And I think a few people from Sweden have said he's not that good. So, but having said that, when it comes to centre-backs, Mourinho is spot on. Just looking at the scores from today. Middlesbrough 3, Swansea 0. Was that hat-trick for Negredo? No. Yeah, I've got him in my fantasy football team. He got 2. West Ham 1, Sunderland 1, Stoke drew, and obviously Palace, Chelsea. Very good performance from Chelsea again. Jason O'Neill, Rashford is typical English media hype. He's not. And Rooney on loan to Napoli. No, never going to happen. And Marouane Fellaini has apparently joined us on the live comments, and he said, you should have chose me for 3 points. For West Brom? Fosu Mensah can go on loan to West Brom and learn from Pullis and Fletcher, or to Everton and learn from Koeman, says Sandeep. I'd be happy with either of those, to be honest. Both teams are doing relatively well, mid-table to high table. Wouldn't swap Lingard for Payet, never mind Martial. Tony said we will make the top 4. Vidic was unknown, it worked out for him. I'm just going to pop off for a quick toilet break, Ross. So if you've got a couple of minutes, what I wanted to just ask you to just expand on was obviously we've got West Brom tonight. We are 3 points behind Spurs. We are 7 odd points behind Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea, City, I think. City, West Brom tonight. Sunderland Boxing Day. Borough New Year's Eve. West Ham away, Liverpool at home. What are you thinking about those games and United the way we're playing at the moment, and where we might be in a month's time, mid-January, after all those games?
Well, do you know what? A big part of that will depend on today's result. I don't really want to look too far ahead because I think United have got to do it one step at a time. But a win today would see us momentum going. I said this last week about momentum, and we've slowly started building it. As long as we can keep that progressing, just don't lose today. I think a draw isn't the end of the world, but it will still feel like 2 points lost, and just keep going forward. I just wanted to quickly say, Mark never asked me who my favourite United player was, and as I am a little bit of a fanboy, my favourite player is Paul Pogba at the minute. I think he's absolutely fantastic in the midfield. And it's the propulsion of United's play at the minute. So why not? Why not have Pogba as your favourite player? And so back to earlier, West Brom. It's going to be a tough game. 2 points dropped would be absolutely horrendous. But you know what? We just got to go for it. And like I said, take the early chances, because we are going to get an early chance in the first 10-15 minutes. And if it doesn't come off, then it will just kind of set the standard for our play that game, and that's what's been affecting United as of late, to be honest. So that's a big point for us, and we have to just go into that first half and try and get a goal, and not let them absorb our quick flowing of passing, to be honest. So that's how I see it, Mark.
You probably got heard then.
Hey mate,
I can still hear me. Hello.
Is that Coco the cat, is it, talking?
Yeah, it's Coco the cat I'm talking to. No, she's off to the fridge at kickoff to get me a beer. I didn't hear what you'd said, obviously, but I'm just going to jump in and say straight away, where do you think we will be in a month's time?
Well, mate, it's hard to predict, and I think today's game will be a massive reflection of where we are, because momentum will build if we win, and it may slow down if we lose. But going into the new year, I think we'll be in and around, if not in the top four, based on the games that all the other teams are playing each other, and vice versa. I think we're going to be there or thereabouts, and if we are there or thereabouts going into January, maybe looking at new signings, I think it would be huge for us.
Yeah, I think tonight is exactly what it's about. In fact, the league table's up in front of me. Manchester United are on 27 points, and I mean, disappointing when you look at our last 6 games, the Arsenal, the West Ham and Everton things, but we're on 27 points. Goal difference needs to improve massively, but that's not something I'm too concerned about at the moment. I think it's about the points. And you look ahead, like I said, we're 6 off City, we're 7 off Liverpool and Arsenal, 3 off Spurs, who I think will go. Ross, your screen's just flipped round, I don't know why. And but yeah, I think win tonight. We will win the next 2. That's just me saying that, not definite. I just think we will. And then I think that'll be 5 wins in a row. That's 5 wins in a row. Then you've got West Ham and Liverpool. And as you said, Ross, I think with the games everybody else has got, we will be pretty much in the top 4. However, bloody Gerrard's on the telly talking about a United game. God, get it.
What, BT?
Yeah. Stay on the Watchalong, folks. God almighty. That is enough to make you sick. But, I can't stand the bloke. Should have gone to prison as well. But anyway, an absolute joke. But that puts you in a bad mood. But yeah, I really do think that we will be there. But I think tonight, even if it's a good point for us, I think that will be a let-off for the teams above us. And I'm not saying that a point might be a good, we could get a last-minute equaliser against a very good West Brom team and go, well, that's a point gained. But in the grand scheme of things, I think we've got to win tonight and keep the momentum going, because we've got to keep chipping away at the teams above us. And I think if we drew or lose, we'd be letting them massively off the hook. What's your score prediction for tonight, Ross?
3-0 Manchester United.
I don't think that's mad. Or what, you're just thinking that it might just go totally against what people are expecting, being a tight game, and we might be quite clinical. I think I was saying that before. I think we've definitely got that in us to do it. But I hope you're right. We definitely need to win it. I mean, Rondon's a threat. Let's just speak about him. West Brom. Not rocket science to think that we've spoken about this before. I thought we were a lot better against Palace and Spurs, to be fair. Against the high ball, crosses coming into the box. I think we've been woeful at that for a long, long time this season. West Brom are clearly going to test us around that area.
Yeah, 100%. But it's one of them games. I mean, if Rondon's got any sense at all, he will piggyback on Rojo and spend his whole game by him. But I think Phil Jones has got to step up, and he's been amazing for us in the games that he's played this season, and he needs to take that responsibility of marking Rondon out the game and go for all the aerial challenges, because I think Rojo against Rondon is going to be a non-starter. I think Rondon's going to win every aerial battle, but yeah, it's a big game and it's a massive test for them back four, probably more of a test than they've had all season, to be honest, based on the physical presence of him and the form that he's taking in, having scored a hat-trick last game. So yeah, he is their biggest threat, and I don't think they really cause us any threat on the break, to be honest. So Rondon's going to be there, to be honest, to just try and win as many free kicks as he can. They're going to be falling over all over the place around the box and hoping that they get a free kick and they can put the ball into the box and nick a goal. And just on BT Sport, I can't believe that they've got Gerrard and Hoddle as their pundits for this game. I mean, they normally are quite good by having sort of one West Brom player and one United player, but that's completely gone the other way for me.
Okay, I'm going to let you go in a minute, Ross, but I just want to say this. It's quite simple. I was just listening to what Gerrard was playing while you were talking, and I can't stand ex-professional footballers as pundits. I mean, this is a man who has hated Manchester United his whole career, and now because he wants to earn money as a pundit, he's just spent the last couple of minutes saying we've got a good squad, this, that and the other, really positive about Manchester United. Exactly the same thing that Gary Neville does about Liverpool. And I tell you what, shove your opinions up your backside. Be real. At least go on there and say you can't stand Manchester United. This is one of the many reasons, and I may write a book one day about it, about why I cannot stand ex-professional footballers as pundits, because it's just tosh. He's only saying it to get some sort of Liverpool United fans start going, oh, he's not that bad really, and then his career's up and running. But there we go. I've had a rant, and it's always nice if there's somebody there visually that I can look at while I do it. But Liam Gwinney, the last question I'll ask you, Liam Gwinney, do we expect to see Fellaini on in this game? We didn't on Wednesday.
I don't expect to see it at all. Do I think it will happen? Probably, yeah. Especially if we're chasing the game. And to be honest, in any aspect of this game, and even if we're holding on, I can see him putting Fellaini on, because Mourinho always fears an aerial challenge and an aerial threat. And I think 100%, I've just got a feeling Fellaini will come on in this game.
Okay, Ross, are you going to join us back at half-time?
Yeah, I'll be on half-time.
Thanks very much. And you've got Fellaini next to you anyway. Keep him there. Don't let him on the pitch.
Cheers,
I'll see you in a bit.
Cheers, mate.
As ever, brilliant points from Ross, and we'll see him back at half-time. However, what we will do for the next few minutes before kick-off, which is up in around 20 minutes. In fact, I must just, if you watched on Wednesday night, we had a little bit of problem with the timer, and people were moaning about it. And as you can see, it will be back when the game kicks off. The timer is back and ready for running. So I think that deserves a like, because I spent the last 4 days solid trying to get that working. I haven't really, I just needed to download it. But do like the video. It is massively about you once the game kicks in, and what we're looking for is your thoughts on the game. How are we doing tactically? There's some really good points on Wednesday night, and also thinking about subs, etc. like that. Man United Herbert says Jose's just giving Lingard a birthday gift by playing him. I think we're Manchester United. We need to be thinking a little bit more than that. There will be a timer, Jesse Hitman, 100%. Even if Jose hated Man United back in Real Madrid and Chelsea, somebody, Gerrard, I don't know what that comment's about. It just didn't make any sense. Rojo needs to stay on his feet today. He'll probably be sent off. Says Adrian Smith. Who is the ref? Does anybody know? Find out. Going to be a very hard game, this, says Lee Tui. This need to watch that Matt Phillips and Rondon. They've been really good lately. They have. We have 9 league games before the Europa tie. We really need to kick off in the league, says Cara D. Piox. Very, very good. I said that a couple of weeks ago, that as soon as the Europa League stops, we need to be taking advantage. There's no advantage for Chelsea and Liverpool at the moment in relation to them having a whole week off. They're on a level playing field, and we need to start chipping away. Certainly, I'm totally confident we're going to finish above Liverpool this season, and I would take great satisfaction in that. But we've got to do our job, and if we don't finish above them, it's going to be the players who let us down, because I really do believe in them. Ice Cake Coco says, I love Martial, but he still needs to improve. Great to see Valencia again, says Atul. I think we really did miss him on Wednesday night, and he is a big, big asset down that right-hand side. And we shouldn't be worried about the refs. I don't know who the ref is. As soon as I do, I'll tell you whether we need to be worried or not. Chadley in decent form for West Brom, obviously, as well. Tommy Herald again. Chadley is a decent player. I forgot they got him as well. Anthony Taylor is the ref. I think Anthony Taylor is the ref who is from Manchester, if I'm right. He was given the Liverpool-Manchester United game before and booked about 5 United players and no Liverpool players in what was a very even game. So I don't have a lot of time for him either. But I want to talk about Herrera for a little minute as well, because I did tweet out a few weeks ago that he's a captain in the making. And I really do think he is. But I think he's been absolutely superb. Absolutely superb over the last few games especially. He must be the first name that Jose thinks about putting on the team sheet. And I think that's just a massive credit to the man, really, because we used to say a lot last season, oh, why doesn't he get picked by Van Gaal? And same to Mata to a certain extent. But the way he's, always seems to have got what United are all about, for sure. And just massively important. If you watch the games back, or you watch him today when he's when the ball's moving around a bit, it's the vocal aspect of his game is second to none, and his drive and determination, and the way it really does get what United are about. The way he talks about United, just a fantastic player, and a real light, shining light of the season so far, and hopefully that can continue, because I really believe in that midfield. I really do. I think when you look at what we were doing at the start of the season, and this is the contrast as to why I think we lost to the likes of City and Watford, we were playing a midfield of Rooney, Fellaini and Pogba. I mean, if we did that today, I think that Samaritans would be very busy. But we've got Carrick now holding the midfield, which is exactly what most people would want. We've got Herrera in that box-to-box position on Wednesday night, and I think tonight again. What they'll do is they'll split. You'll have Carrick and you'll have 2 tangents off like that. Herrera on the right and Pogba on the left, doing the same sort of job. But sometimes when we're at home, it's more like a line. Carrick, Herrera, Pogba more advanced. Today I think Pogba will be more box-to-box with Herrera. But I think it's a fantastic midfield 3. I thought Pogba was the man of the match against Palace. I still think he's got a hell of a lot more to do. I think he's on a curve of getting better and better. Carrick, I don't think he's had his best games the last 2 games, but he's done what he does. But I think Herrera, if he's not going to be given the captain's armband at some time, there's something going wrong. And I think anybody who thinks that he won't get it is very wide of the mark, because Mourinho really obviously does like him. And I think that's one of the positives for me about Jose Mourinho as manager of Manchester United, is that he really has twigged onto this Herrera thing. And I've no doubt about it. I think he was a bit of a cult figure at United for the first couple of years, but he's a massively popular player now, and all be the best. Robin said, Zlatan, will he score today? That was my bet tip of the day. Zlatan anytime. I did it on Wednesday, I was right. I think he'll score tonight, definitely. I think it's a match made in heaven. Tactically, I think what we need to do is get down the flanks and put some crosses into the box, which really disappoints me. I mean, we're going through the team. The team is just flashing up below you there. De Gea in goal, Valencia back in at right back, Jones and Rojo. Daley Blind is not playing at left back. He's been dropped for Darmian. Carrick, Herrera, Pogba, which I just discussed. Lingard is in on the right for Mata. Rooney up front, and then Zlatan. Now, a lot of people are not happy about Lingard for Mata. I wouldn't have chosen Lingard, but I do agree with us having some pace in the final 3 positions, because I think that was abundantly clear that was a bad issue on Wednesday night. But the Darmian for Blind thing at left back, I don't agree with that. I thought Blind had a good game. I think Darmian had been dropped from the Spurs game, because let's not forget Valencia was out. He could have played Darmian at right back, so that was odd. And then he now drops Blind for Darmian. Really weird. But what I think we miss with Blind, although I think Blind is a better left back than Darmian, is that Blind gives you a decent cross from the left, which Darmian doesn't, and that's a problem. So. Really, we need to use the width to get crosses in. Rooney and Darmian down the left haven't got a natural left foot to whiz a cross in. Lingard and Valencia, hopefully they will do. But we need to put some balls into the box. Not sure about Herrera as a long-term first-team player, says Scholes Legend. Is he a top-level midfielder? I don't think so at the moment. Great desire, motivation, tenacity, though. I think that's a fantastic comment, and I won't expose it as a bad one, because I've said this a lot, and if people watch the United stands, you will know. I don't know whether Ander Herrera is good enough as a Manchester United player to win the title, because we are not a title-winning team yet. Ander Herrera may well, as we get better and better, have to develop into more of a squad player. But at the moment, in what we're trying to achieve, he is 100% essential to what we're trying to achieve. But we are probably 3 or 4 players away from being a title-winning team at the moment. I think we probably do need a midfielder in. I think we probably do need another winger in and another centre-back in. But Herrera has to be part of things at the moment. But I think that's a good comment, and hopefully we will progress to being that sort of team. But it's not a discussion for now, but I know where you're coming from, which is why I'd brought it up. Blin for Darmian, Martial for Rooney, says Kane Pogba. Would have been nice, but I think we're going for a grafting performance today. And as I was saying a bit before, for those who've not joined in, this team we've put out now against West Brom, we might have to graft for an hour, but that bench is quite good. And that bench, Rooney's not on the bench. So, the obligatory Rooney coming on after 60 minutes doesn't happen because he's starting. So if it's 0-0 or we're 1-0 down after about an hour, we've got a lot of options on that bench, attacking-wise. I mean, hopefully we won't use Fellaini, but you've got Rashford, you've got Martial, you've got Mata. So there are options there. Mark, you were loving Herrera a while ago, back when he wasn't playing. I was, Ahmed. I've always loved Herrera. We need one striker along with 3 more players, says Babu. Herrera is brilliant, but is he world class, says Joel Merry. Herrera just like Herrera 5 years older than Pogba. He is awful, says Matt. No, I disagree with you there. Pete MN says 2-1 to United. That's my tip. And MUFC Tactics says it looks like we're trying to grind out a result, which I think every one of us would take 1-0 now if it was offered. We all want to see scintillating, attacking, great football, but I think none of us are naive enough not to realise that any win today would be absolutely fantastic. I don't need that in my ear when I'm not talking to anybody. If we picked up a yellow card, if we pick up a red card in this game, it'd be very hard to win. A lot of people on about Rojo, so yeah, I do agree with you. The Side Boys XIX says Herrera needs more time, maybe go on loan. He's 27. Why would you send him on loan and he's a first team player? I don't understand what about that one, but each their own. Anwar loves Man United. Good, you're in the right place. Mourinho's Red Army, says Bobby Jeff. And Herrera deserves respect. He does, Naveen. I'm a good substitution if you want to park the bus, says Moran Fellaini. Martial will be subbed on, says Emad. I hope so. And I'm sort of repeating myself really, but this game is about winning. And I think, you know what, it's our last game before Christmas. If people haven't realised that, it is our last game before Christmas. And I think if we won today, we could have a really exciting, if you celebrate Christmas or you enjoy it, a really celebratory festive period, because we know we've got 2 home games that are both winnable with Sunderland and Borough to come. So if we win tonight, it's a massive positive. Would I be gutted if we drew? Yes, because over the season it's a bad result. It might be a good draw tonight, though. It might be a good draw tonight, but I think we have to win the game. We've got to win it. That's as simple as it goes. Drop us a like on the video for everybody who is watching. There's quite a lot of you watching now. Stay with us during the game. Get involved. Get commenting, telling us what you think of the game, etc., etc. Do drop us a like. We like to hit 1,000 likes on a watch along because it's massively about you. It's our Christmas party tomorrow night, our Christmas show, sorry, 8:30. We're 8:30 live every Sunday with the United Review, but tomorrow we've got 2 or 3 guests coming on. Try and get Christmas jumpers, etc. Have a little bit of a drink and a chat. It's Christmas and it's our Christmas show and it's always good fun. We will be talking present. We'll be talking this result, I'm sure. But we do want to talk a little bit more because I think Christmas, the New Year is all about that. We do want to talk over this next week a bit more about transfers. Going to do some transfers show. But tomorrow night we'll be starting it. And I think I might bring it up. I tell you what, if you want... Forget the Queen's message at 3 o'clock on Christmas Day. There will be a Goldbridge 3 p.m. message on the United stand where I'll be reviewing the year a little bit. But we will be doing that a little bit more tomorrow. Not just about Mourinho and how he's been, but also the FA Cup, Van Gaal. So join us for that tomorrow. It'll be very good. We're basically live every day at about 8:30 with differing content. So do subscribe to the United Stand if you are new. As Sandeep says, like, share, subscribe. Keep getting involved. It is your channel. Do get commenting and let us know where you're watching from as well. I'm always intrigued by that. Somebody's already mentioned it's 4:30 in the morning in Australia. Things are getting better for you guys. I mean, I know a lot of you and ladies used to get up and watch Van Gaal Man United. So, I mean, that's some going. Subscribe to me, says SAG. Toronto, Canada in the house, says Andy Armando. Watching at midnight from Thailand, says Daniel Braham. Ladyboys. Oh, just popped out. Goldbridge is better than the Queen, says Herbie Howard. And I thought you said Goldbridge is a Queen. I'm diverse. I appeal to everybody. I'm from Wales, says the Side Boys. Everybody's commenting and letting know where they're from. Watching from New York City, says Cunley. California, it's 9:30 a.m, says Rocky Mint. I like this bit of the show. Singapore, Mark, says FIFA Sophie. I'm having a Chinese tonight. Actually, Singapore's not China. Egypt, Sheriff Amoon. And hi from Dubai, says Michael Cullen. Norway, Peter. India, Jazz. Cyprus, Marcus. North Scotland, says Greg Moffat. And Singapore, it's 1:20 a.m. Malaysia, and then he didn't say anything else then. Valencia is a warrior, says Andy Armando. He is. Hong Kong, I'm from Malta. And Hong Kong, Spain, Andalusia, says Ahmed. It's 4:30 in the morning, says John Abraham. Cyprus, Sweden, Luxembourg, Pakistan, Kingston, Portugal, Thailand. I tell you what, we are totally and utterly worldwide Manchester United, and it's fantastic that we have so many people watching from so many other areas. We are 8 minutes from kickoff. There is a timer. It's back today. And Limerick Island, Finland, Mars, that's something. So lots going on, and lots of people watching from all over the place. All I can say is you're fantastic. Drop a like, because you're only liking yourself on this video. In fact, we're on 452 likes. Drop down, click that tick, and let's try and get to 1,000 before kickoff. We normally do it by half time, but it's Christmas, everybody. And Peter Doyle says, Mark, as much as I love this channel, no chance I'll be watching Christmas Day. It will be too full of Guinness and turkey. Mate, you're not the only one. I won't be live on Christmas Day. No chance. This will be a pre-record going up at 3 o'clock. Much like the Queen. I don't want to shatter anybody's illusions, but the Queen doesn't finish her old Christmas pudding and put EastEnders on record and go and sit in and do it live at 3 o'clock. It's a pre-record, just like mine will be a pre-record in a special studio. But we'll schedule it to go up on the channel at 3 o'clock. Watch it at your will, free will. But don't feel you have to watch it at 3 o'clock. But it will go up on the channel at 3 o'clock, and it will not be live. Did anyone see that ghost walk past the back? I know it wasn't a ghost. It's graphics, but maybe it was a ghost of Christmas past. Moyes. It's not lagging today because we've sorted it out, which is good. I am drinking a drink today because it's Christmas, and it is of the... you can't really see it actually because I have a green screen, so the green will not show. But it is of it is a beer. That looks quite good actually. Look, because you can't. If I bring it close up. It is of a variety that used to sponsor Liverpool, and I've done it on purpose. I am purposely drinking this drink today as a cheers to any Liverpool fans that join us, to say that you are 9 points off this title that you're apparently going to win this year, and you've got no chance. But here's to you, another year without a title. Mark, I'm a Manchester City fan, but I like watching the United stand, so I will subscribe, says Robinson. Jamali Robinson, that's fantastic. Everybody's watching. Everybody's welcome and watching. We're building towards this game though now. It's, jokes apart, it is about Manchester United getting a result today. I think the great thing about this last week is that the team has responded. Mourinho's responded and provided us with 6 points that we really, really needed. Each game has gone from one to the next. Spurs was a game we had to win. Palace was a game we had to win. And for me, tonight is a game we've got to win. If we do it, we've got 2 massive opportunities to take a further 6 points with home games against teams we should be beating in Sunderland and Borough. And I think with them results behind us, we'll be in a very favourable position to salvage top 4, which, to be honest, after the Everton game, I thought was gone. So it's there, everyone, and it can happen. But let's hope the team can do it for us today. Let's really do. Somebody just asked us, is there a subscriber challenge on the video today? We've got 57,280 subscribers, so if you are new to the channel, click the subscribe button, which is in the bottom right hand corner. It's a hologram, and let's see if we can get 57,500. Should we go for that today? Congratulations on a great channel, says Edge HR. United Stand's your channel, folks. It doesn't work without you lot watching and getting involved in the live comments. And people may think that's a cliche or whatever, but it's a fact. You know, otherwise I could be sat with like 10 people watching, and it would be very boring. So it's nothing without you lot. Every video we do pretty much is live content, and it works. It works for us anyway. We wouldn't do it any other way. So thanks everybody for watching. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. And if you are new, just before we're live, because the team's about to come out and I need to start the timer. If you are new to the channel, what I would say is subscribe, because then you'll get notified when we go live with our other shows. And as great as it is to have you with us for the watch-alongs, get involved in all the other shows like Sunday Night Live tomorrow night. Skype Goldbridge on a Monday night at 8:30 is growing. It's a new show. We've been doing it for about a month now, and it's a fantastic show where you can Skype in, as Ross did there, and have your say. You know, there is no script to the show. You come on, tell us what you think, and that will be on Monday night as well. I think that'll be a good show as well, because we can talk more, as I've wanted to talk over the last few weeks, that it will be about the year gone by, etc. So get involved in that. So if you are new, subscribe, but watch all the other stuff as well. So there's lots to get involved with, and don't leave us. Let's have a look with Alex. Isn't happy that Lingard. Oh, Alex, who hopefully will come back on the show. He's not been on for a couple of weeks. He hates Lingard. In fact, he hates Lingard so much. He slagged Adidas off in the summer about Lingard and them using him. And Adidas tweeted back, and he basically got absolutely slammed on Twitter by hundreds of people. Adidas felt so guilty about it, they sent him a new United shirt with Lingard in the back, which he put in the bin. But he wears it now because he's a cheapskate, and I think deep down he probably does like Lingard. I mean, my issue with Lingard is that he's a squad player, but sometimes a squad player is needed to start. And he's starting today, and he gives us a bit of pace. And the reality is, maybe I would have put Rooney on the right and put Martial on the left, but he's gone with this team. Let's see what happens. Skype ID, if you need to know it, is Mark Goldbridge. That's for the Monday show. Steve Titelbaum has been with us since the first week. Was that when we were Soccerbox or the United Stand? Because we used to be Soccerbox. In fact, what I'm thinking about doing this week as a little bit of a retro is, a lot of you don't know the story of the United Stand. Just before we kick off, we were called Soccerbox, then we changed to the United Stand, and I used to have a studio which was very different to this. And I'm thinking about doing a retro show this week because it is Christmas, and rebuilding that studio, which would be a hark back to Soccerbox, but we'll see. We're about to kick off, and we'll start the timer. For those who are new to the watch along, we can't show you the game footage. We don't have the rights to do that. This is a watch along. There will be a slight delay because we're on YouTube and it can't be second for second live stream. So what we do is we start our timer, and a lot of people will pause their coverage or whatever and sync in to get the maximum benefit from it, because I know a lot of you probably watch it on your own or with people who don't support United, etc. So this is part of the United Stand family, I suppose, and you can join in and get involved. What I'm looking for from you lot, though, is comments. If you can do any funny analogies, I will pinch them and tweet them out, and I'll credit you. But if you want shout outs on that, I'll be shouting out a lot of comments anyway. But tactical stuff's really important. What I'm looking for from this game, I suppose, Darmian concerns me. I'm looking for a good game from him. And I think Lingard's got to be utilised, and I think we've got to get crosses into the box. And I think if we can do that, that'll be really good. I can't see that we're going to be happy wanting to play around the edge of their box, because if you were going to do that, you'd play Mata for the little intricate passes. So I think we're going to try and hit West Brom on the break. I think that's what we're going to try and do. And I think we need to be putting decent ball into the box as well. Do you like Adidas or Nike, says Indie Tagger. Adidas all the way for me. Yeah, I do. I liked Adidas before anyway. Shout out please, Mark, says Nathan Rowlands. Hi dickhead, says Mitchie16. Byrie Beckford says we've hit 57,319 subscribers. The game is off. I'm slow. I will start the timer. I hate being slow with the timer. And we're off. There we go. Where's Fellaini, says Vikramjit. He's on the bench, but we're off. We're up and running. Relax. Take your time. Get involved in it. Herrera's given a foul away straight away. If I am going to start doing this more and more in the new year, just a little bit of fun. But if you had your little bet on Wednesday, I'll start putting what I've put up. So I had a £10 bet on Wednesday night. Zlatan to score any time. I got £17 back off that, so a £7. That's gone on Zlatan to score any time today. And if I win, it basically gets me about 15 quid back. So I'll be up to £32 off for a tenner already. So we're going to start doing that, I think, more and more in the new year, just for a bit of fun, just to add something in for something, because we are live for so long. Your thoughts of Martial wanting to leave United, says Zen. He doesn't want to leave United. Who's talking that rubbish? Is it in the mirror again? He doesn't want to leave United. He actually came out and said, you've got to, I'm unhappy about being on the bench, but you've got to prove your worth and work hard. And, that is totally the case with Mourinho. He's proven that with Mkhitaryan. He was nowhere near the team. Works hard, gets back in, good player, and that's what he's got to do. Frostbait says, where can we donate to this channel? Well, I'll give you my bank details, and we only take amounts over £1,000. I'm joking. Actually, in the video description, second paragraph, help the United stand grow and have your questions and shout-outs live on the show. Visit our Patreon page. Just click that link and it will show you how to do it, if anybody is so inclined. Poor team today, Mark, says Nathan Love. The only change I would really have wanted to make would have been I wouldn't have dropped Blind for Darmian. I actually agree with Lingard, not necessarily Lingard, but I agree with taking either Mata or Rooney out of the team to put a bit of pace, because I think we needed a bit of pace in them front three positions, and we lacked that against Palace. I mean, against Palace, we didn't create many chances. This game, first 2.5 minutes in, it's all pretty much West Brom at the moment. They've just shot over the bar. But they're playing with a lot of confidence. They are the home team. Let's not talk about West Brom as if they are Crystal Palace, that we should be beating them. I think we should be beating West Brom, but they're a team in form. They're only just behind us, actually. I think they're in 7th. So they're not, they're no pushover. Yeah, I agree we should win. Yes, I think we need to win. But I'm totally realistic that it will be quite a difficult game. And in fact, we've just seen straight away there. I tell you what, I reckon that could have been a pen. I think that could have been a penalty on we just saw there with Lingard exactly why we're playing him. A long ball forward by Pogba with pace. Lingard is in the box, and Andy Taylor says no. Another dodgy ref. I reckon this is a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a bloody penalty. There's no such thing. It's a penalty. He's got him round the head. It's not a shoulder barge. Unbelievable. I mean, I know we're going to have the same old people commenting again. It's just another rubbish, corrupt ref. I tell you what, I will guarantee you now, if that's Man City or that's Liverpool, that's a penalty, because that's the sort of penalties they've been getting all day. JB reacts, that is a pen. There is nothing in the rule book that says if it's a soft penalty you don't give it. It's a penalty. He gets to the ball first and the player is pulling him back and pulls him to the floor. It's a penalty. If that's outside the box, it gives a foul. This could be a goal. Zlatan! 1-0! Have it! Have it, have it, have it! You've won your money. Cash back. Cha-ching! Brilliant. And it's Lingard who makes it. Forget your penalties. You're not going to have one. It's brilliant. This is exactly what you need to do. Put the ball into the box. Zlatan, 1-0, boom, boom. Justice, absolute justice. Come on, it's a brilliant goal as well, because it's one of them goals where the cross is coming in and you're waiting, bang, get in. 1-0, Zlatan. Well, you've won your money already. We're up to 32 quid, off a tenner within 2 games, thanks to that man, Zlatan. Woo! And we wanted that. Ross said 3-0, I said 2-1. But, the early goal, it should have been a penalty to United. But that goal is fantastic. And I tell you what, I'm going to do something now. Jesse Lingard, stand up, mate, because that is exactly what we needed to do. A bit of pace. And he gets a lot of stick, Lingard, for his crossing. But that cross was superb. Oh, yes. We'll have some of that, boys and girls. Superb. What a start. And what a goal as well. As I said there, it was just... you could just see it hung up. And you're like, come on. And that's what he does. And it will shut him up. What a start. What a goal, says Herman. What a goal. Well, we're buzzing. And Ross also said, we've been missing early chances in games. It's not 1-0 to West Brom. I need to change the score. Don't get shocked. It's Christmas time. And we're nearly going 2-0 up there with Rooney. I tell you what, we're buzzing. This is the thing, though. You start grinding results out like we did against Spurs and against Palace. Confidence starts to grow. And Rooney on the other header there as well. Settles us down. Well, we've got an advantage. It's a corner. Whoa, come on. I love it. Come on. Zlatan as well. Who said Zlatan wouldn't get 20 goals this season as well? Question to the board, because I'm live. Obviously, it's difficult for me to do it. How many goals has Zlatan got this season? Because there was a lot of people saying he was a flop. He was past it. United fans. I said he wasn't. I said he'll get 20 goals this season, and unbelievable. That is exactly what we signed him for. That sort of goal. Get on the end of it like that. Oof. Incredible assist, says Nat John. I think Lingard deserves a lot of credit. It was a penalty. It doesn't really matter now, but it was definitely a penalty. Pogba hits the long ball, and what Lingard does is he's darting behind the West Brom defence with pace. Something we couldn't do if we had Mata, because we haven't got any pace in the three positions. And then again, slightly on the break down the right hand side, Lingard gets there, cross comes in. It's a super cross. It's a brilliant cross. And if you can add that to his game, because it's always been lacking, suddenly we're in. Like Anaban says, what a cross from Lingard. And what a cross it was. If he can add that to his game, he's in business. Andre Robinson, he's got 15 goals this season. I tell you what, he ain't going to get 20. Get out and walk. He'll probably have 20 by the end of the year. What a great start. What a start. Long way to go, though. Long way to go. It was a pen, Sandeep. Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't, if it was still 0-0, we'd be moaning about that, saying it was a penalty still. And we stopped moaning about it because we've gone 1-0 up. And now as it's died down a bit, what I must say is nowhere in the book does it say it's not a penalty if it's soft. It was a penalty. I'm sure the anti-United media and everything will not highlight it, The channel I'm watching actually has a referee they can go to for dodgy decisions. They've not even been to him yet to ask his opinion. It was a penalty. Lingard got there first and he was pulled back and dragged to the floor. It's softish, but you're touching a player that you shouldn't be touching. United should be third, said Mark Beaumont. Let's take it every time. Let's take it a bit at a time. Scholes Legend saying don't sit back now. I don't think we will. I think it's way too early for us to sit back. But Lingard at the moment is really providing the pace. Like Rooney's just hit a ball there. I don't think we'll see Lingard play in the full 90 minutes because I think what he's basically on the pitch to do is add pace and really press, and it's working really well at the moment. And as I said, and I'll keep saying it, that midfield three of Pogba, Herrera and Carrick, I don't think there's a better midfield three in the league at the moment. I think they're absolutely bang on it. Gaming Nerd missed the goal. Was it good? Let him know, folks. I tell you what, it's probably one of my favourite goals this season, this so far, because the cross, as you're watching it, you see it coming across, and you're like, oosh, and he has it. Fergie would have been up there for that one, but it was a great finish, and that's Zlatan with his head. What a cross, Jesse, says Sadie. Yeah, it was fantastic. Joel Merry, soft or not, a foul is a foul. Yeah, I totally agree. And Tommy Herald highlighting that the pace is killing, Lingard's pace is killing West Brom at the moment. I think it probably has caught him on the hop a bit. Because whatever you think about West Brom, and I, quite routinely do use West Brom in my fantasy football team. defenders, whether it's Dawson, McCauley or Olsen or Evans, they've got no pace. They basically play 4 centre-backs across their back 4. So if we'd not played pace today, it would have been stupid. So yet again, a bit like the Spurs game when Mata didn't play. You can't, Mata deserves to play for Manchester United, but sometimes you've got to play what the opposition is. And if we'd played Mata today, we wouldn't have had the penalty decision and we wouldn't have had the goal because they both came down to the pace. So well done, Mourinho. Attle's feeling confident. Jordan O'Flynn says there's too much passing. And I said 3-1 United, get in the boys, says the English legend. It's only 1-0. It's only 1-0. I did say both teams to score though, so hopefully we will get more than one. But if you did put your money on Zlatan like I told you to, and you did it on Wednesday, that tenner will be up to about 33 quid now. So stick with it. Good chance for West Brom there. Looks like a foul by Olsen, actually. Yes. No, this ref is obviously anti-Manchester United for a start. West Brom is dangerous from set pieces, says Tremaine. 100% they are. They are. We sort of knew that would be the case. A few negative comments coming in. Anthony Evelyn says going to be 1-1 by half time. The reality is we're 1-0 up early in a game and we haven't done that for a long time, and especially away from home. And the way this game works is quite a positive now because when West Brom are going to have to, they can't sit back. Palace on Wednesday night, they did sit back against us for a long, long time. West Brom are losing. They've got fans. I know a couple of West Brom fans being based in the Midlands. They're quite demanding and they do get quite annoyed with the way Pulis plays, which is why they've been a bit more expansive recently. They won't accept Manchester United coming to town and sitting back when you're 1-0 down. They will be forced out a bit, which hopefully will give us more opportunities. I really hope what I said in the preview. When we went live an hour before kickoff, and what Ross said as well, that everyone's expecting it to be a tight game, which it may well be, but it wouldn't surprise me, and Ross went 3-0 as well, that we might just blow them away and have this game won in the first half. I hope so, but they're a decent opposition. They are a decent opposition. Single male 51 says, I wish I had a naughty picture of you. I'm very handsome, apparently. Mark is Coco a United fan? Yep. Asleep at the moment. Has Liverpool played today? This is Paddy Lawrence. No, they're playing on Monday against Everton. Phil Jones is the difference, says Youssaf. Who'd have thought we'd be saying that in the summer? And Darmian gets fouled, having intercepted. Mark, have you realised that every keeper that is against us just turns into Nuer, says Zen. Well, this one didn't. Ben Foster normally does, actually, in fairness. I've seen Ben Foster play against United numerous times. I'm just watching the goal again. Oh, that cross is so good from Lingard as well because it's on the bounce. And Fletcher's saying that he was fouled, which I haven't seen. Don't care. I find it funny when United cheat and get things in their favour, actually, because it just winds everybody up even more. Rooney's beard is still working the magic, hopefully. Phil Jones is doing okay so far, says Michael Klebb. Rojo is the hero, though, says Prosh. Ellis Wood wants Rooney to beat the goal scoring record and F off. All refs are corrupt, says Michael Clegg. Rooney finished the job today, says the United stand Uzar. De Gea is a beast, says Zico. Mark worried the ref is eager to give Rojo a red and become the first red to deal with his two-footed tackles. It's a good point. I think the media are sort of would love that, but I'm sure Jose will have told him just calm yourself down. But let's get the second goal, like DST just said. Let's get the second goal. Let's start conducting the midfield with Carrick, and let's get the second goal. There's space on the pitch. I think one thing we didn't do really that well against Palace was retain the ball very well. I don't think either team did. And I don't think we moved the ball that well against Spurs, so it'd be nice to see us doing that. Zlatan's going to be offside. Oh, I thought he was onside for a minute. He looks like he was a mile offside. But again, intelligent ball by Pogba. But he's offside more than any player I've ever seen offside. But I saw I was on about this on the preview last night. You know, these irrelevant stat people who just keep doing stats. And there was apparently Pogba's got the most take-ons in the Premier League. We've won the ball back more than any other team in their half. I don't get what people's modern fascination is with stats. It's a real modern invention, really. I don't give a damn about it. It's irrelevant. What people try to do with football is overcomplicate what is a very, very simple game. It's 11 against 11, and the team with the better team normally wins, but the team who puts the ball in the back of the net most wins the game. And to be honest, I couldn't give a damn if Pogba's done the most take-ons or won the ball back most in the other half. What I do give a damn about is if he plays well for Manchester United and we're there at the end of the game saying he was man of the match. And that will not be because he's done the most take-ons or won the ball back in the other person's half. It'll be because of what he's done with the ball and what the team has done. And there are many facets to being a great player, and it's not about individual stat. I'm not a stat man. Zlatan is looking dangerous, Angie. I agree. But it's a good start. It is a good start. I'm very happy. But I think where West Brom will cause us the problem, and the area that we need to just be very careful about, is trying to limit the amount of times that they get to put the cross in. Ryan Allen, if you love your stats, who has passed to their own keeper the most this season? That's right. No one cares. Exactly. It's like, who has passed the ball the most with their weakest foot? You know, you can make stats are like politicians to me, to be honest. It's like you can make any stat make anybody look good. I mean, there's probably stats out there that make Jordan Henderson look like he's a decent midfielder. When actually he's played the most backward passes out of any midfielder in the country. Which again, you could use to have a go at him if you want. But the reality is, I don't need to know that Jordan Henderson has played the most backward passes in the country to know that he's crap. I just watch him. You know, stats are rubbish. Yeah, he agrees. But I'd be happy if the final whistle went now. I'd be absolutely ecstatic. I really would. 3 points. Leicester City did very well today. I didn't even realise they got back from 2-0 down. That's very good for them. And I don't want Leicester to go down. You know, not as champions. It'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Joe Budder, according to stats, the team who scores more goals will win. It's the sort of thing that Van Gaal would tell us. Dester's saying it's going to be 4-0. I don't know. I tell you what, though, I know we're only 20 minutes in, but my man of the match so far is Lingard. I think he's been brilliant. Although Pogba's looking good again. He's just done another one of them take-ons. Oh, God, he's going to be flying up that take-ons league now for stats. There's Lingard. Looking sharp. I think Lingard, what I would say about Lingard is, and that's a good little burst run into the box by Herrera. Oh, Rooney, what are you doing? Oh, Rooney there. Herrera puts him in, and I think Rooney thinks he's got a player behind him, and actually he's got so much space to just shoot off his left foot. But he just watching it here now. If he hits that with he's got so much space. But I think he thinks the defender's tighter than he is. But good little play. United are looking sharp, Anthony. Who scored? It says it underneath United, below me, but it was Zlatan. We look really dangerous when attacking, which is good. Michael Clegg, I was just going to say that about Lingard. Lingard would be my man of the match at the moment. I'm never going to lie just because it doesn't suit what I think about of a player. I think Lingard's played really well. But as Sir Alex always said, I just wish he'd bulk out a little bit, because I think he is a little bit lightweight, but maybe he's always going to be lightweight. Some people are always skinny. Look at Peter Crouch. Some people are always fat. Look at Frank Lampard. I think Darren Fletcher's always an interesting one. I mean, how many years is it since he left United, and he's then gone on to play week in, week out, and he had that horrible illness, a lot of people felt that ended his Manchester United career. And maybe it did at the highest level, but I've seen him play for West Brom a few times, and it's not like he plays every now and again. He plays week in, week out, and he's still a decent player. But I presume that was probably Moyes who let him go as well. Michael Clegg, Mark, you're my favourite YouTube live streamer. Well, this isn't me. This is the United Stand. So if you enjoy this, you are enjoying your own content, really, because it doesn't work without the live comments. Otherwise, it'd just be some Manchester United fan talking to himself. But Lingard's broken into the box there. It's a decent ball off to Rooney. Oh, that would have been a great way to break the record. Well, level the record. Smashes it on from the edge of the box, and Foster palms it up onto the bar. But what a way that would have been a great goal to do it. Brilliant. Good effort. You can't knock Mourinho, though. Again, he's doing things that he has to do as a manager. You know, people say, oh, these people get paid more than you, they know more than football about you. I think that's absolute nonsense, and I think you're really doing yourself down as a football fan. You know, David Moyes didn't know more than us as Manchester United fans, and Van Gaal certainly didn't. But what I like about Mourinho is, he's still got that Achilles heel of using Fellaini, but what he's starting to do is make decisions that we may not agree with, but then they ultimately turn out to be well. Oh God, yellow card for Zlatan. I thought it was going to be a red. No, he's got a yellow card. Oh, let's bring Howard Webb in on this one, but not the blatant penalty. It's not even a foul. The arms are right down. He's just basically gone into him with his chest. His arms down. It maybe is a yellow card, but it's not a red. As Alec Castle says, he's levelled him, and that's a good thing. Rest in peace, Dawson, says Tremaine Bishop. Very good. But yeah, I like what Mourinho's doing, because he's starting to make decisions that maybe we question them, that then you go, that's spot on. And I think Lingard today, would Rashford have done better? Would Martial have done better? Certainly not from the right. So it's worked really well so far. I mean, that Rooney goal would have been nice from a point of view of him levelling the record, which he's going to do at some point anyway, and that we'd rather him do it with a nice goal. But to be honest, I'd rather it just gone in to get 2-0 up and get this game, pretty much out of West Brom's reach. But it was a good shot, and they've not shown it back yet. Team Overjoyed doesn't think Rooney will score in this game. I mean, Zlatan on a yellow card's not ideal. He needs to be just a little bit careful now, because he is quite a rough player. Who got the assist again, says Ollie Wakefield. Jesse Lingard. Mark, we're playing really well, says Kellen H. We are. Jonathan K says you're drinking Carlsberg. That's poor. I'm drinking it because it's a little tribute to Liverpool, who were 9 points off the top of the league, and apparently they were going to win it this year. No chance. But there's to you, you Scousers. There's the Rooney shot again. Lovely connection. And the keeper's probably always going to get a hand to it, to be honest. Bombed up onto the bar. TXM says, how's the game going, Mark? Sorry I'm late. Not acceptable, but it is 1-0 to Manchester United, playing very, very well. Could have been 2-0, Rooney hitting the bar. Zlatan booked. But Lingard, my man of the match so far, been absolutely superb. And a really good away performance, you know. Let's not forget, we are away. Scragnation 1-2-3. Do you see Manchester United winning the league? No, I don't. Oh, that's a good turn there, but Rojo's covering his centre-back very well. And whatever you think about Phil Jones and Rojo, and whether individually they are better than Bay or Smalling, arguably, if you are old enough to have watched a lot of football, especially United, it's not necessarily... I think God's offside. It's not necessarily about the individual talent of the centre-back, because a centre-back is always about a partnership. And Rojo and Jones complement each other quite well, left and right-footed, and they obviously have a bit of an understanding. I remember United having a run of about 8 games when Ferdinand was injured, I think, and we played Johnny Evans at centre-back with Vidic. And they hit on a really good understanding for 8 games. I think we broke the Premier League record for not conceding a goal over so many minutes. And, you know, when Ferdinand came back, I think Johnny Evans was moved out of the team. But, you know, a centre-back pairing is exactly that. It's not necessarily about how good the individual is. You know, you could put like Eric Bailly with John Stones, and they'd be rubbish because Bailly's playing with somebody who's crap. But I think there is an understanding there between Jones and Rojo, and that shouldn't be ignored. It's about partnership, says VK Dean. The Harold says, if United win this, I'll be happy as Larry. TXM said he's just heard that tackle from Zlatan on the radio, but they exaggerated it. Unbelievable scenes. It's probably a red card everywhere other than Manchester United fans' brain. I mean, he's gone up like that and his arm is straight down. He's flattened him, but there's no arm up or anything like that. Firas says Stones is not so crap. I wouldn't want him anywhere near a Manchester United team. Good shot there from the edge of the box, but it's straight at De Gea from... Is that Brunt? Is he still playing? He's still playing, Chris Brunt. Used to have him in my fantasy team a few years ago. Good from set pieces. What do you think about Klopp's go at Scouserpool? I haven't heard it. Has it been a good game, says Midget Together? It has. I've enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I love watching. I actually sat and was down the pub watching Palace Chelsea earlier. I love Christmas, relaxing, having some time off, and just being able to just enjoy watching football and films and stuff like that. And you know, this is good. It's good. It's a good, entertaining game. Lingard on the right here. I think he's played fantastically well. And Zlatan tries a little flick, but we've retained the possession. That midfield three of Pogba, Herrera and Carrick just hunting teams down. And I'm so pleased that Michael Carrick's played tonight, because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's 3 games in 3 days. But our next game is not until a week on Monday. So it would have been really a shame not to have played him tonight, because he's going to get a massive break now anyway. And we're moving the ball around well today, which is good. But I think Zlatan... For all those people who get annoyed with him, that's a lovely little play as well. And Rooney, not quite got the legs, but it was good little play, interchanging Pogba, Herrera, and then Carrick, and then Zlatan, and then Rode, and then the keeper got it. But I think Zlatan is starting to silence his critics a little bit now. Absolutely essential goal against Palace midweek. Another goal today. And doing exactly what I knew he would do when he came to United, which is score goals at a ridiculous ratio. I mean, he's a goal every other game striker for his whole career, which spans nearly 20 years. But at the moment, he's nearly, he must be better than that. It's like, because he scored in the last couple of games. But United have missed a striker like this, I would say, probably since the days of Van Nistelrooy. Somebody who is really top class, and you give him a chance. Oh, having said that, cross comes in from the left. Rondon's up, and De Gea was rooted to the spot. I thought that was a goal. Skips past Valencia. Cross comes in. It's over. Phil Jones has got to do... Either Rojo or Jones has got to do better there. They're both looking at the striker, and he gets up. Not good enough from... not good enough from either of them. I've got to be harsh. They've had a let-off. And when you've got two defenders marking one striker there, that is pretty poor. Anyway, like the video if you'll be watching The Only Way is Essex Christmas special this week. Try not to smile. Nice flick by Zlatan. That was a good chance for West Brom though, to be honest. They probably should have scored, so it's a bit of a livener. Missing Mkhitaryan, says Babatunde. I don't think we are. I mean, well, we are. You miss a player of that quality, but I think the way we've set up today, it's the reason you have a 25-man squad. You've got to accept that there will be injuries, and you've got to have players who will come in and do a job. And what I will say about Jesse Lingard is, and I really hope he continues this, and I really hope he ends up being the man of the match today, because what I would say is about Lingard is, he's a youth product, and whether you like him or not, one thing he does get is the United way. He understands it. He is Manchester United through and through. So, we do get a little bit frustrated with him at times because he is a bit lacking in consistency, and his final ball is not always up there. But if he can improve on that, he can be a really important player. But for me, he's a squad player. But a squad player will sometimes play games. I don't know what Herrera was doing there. He should have just hit it. But West Brom are playing a high line a lot as well, and I think they will come unstuck with that. They've had a few offsides go in their favour, but very good point from Midget Together again. Who do you think's better, Martial or Rashford? I'm not answering that question. It's just because I saw Martial and Rashford. I think either of those two could be massive in the last half an hour of this game, because West Brom are playing a high line. I think a little bit of pace really hurts West Brom. Malik makes a good point. If we win this match and our next two games, we've got a great chance. I think if we win this game and the next two games, we will get top four 100%. I really do think it will come down to that. A long way to go in this game first, but I mean that if we win the next two, Sunderland and Borough, like I say, that would be 5 games in a row winning if we win today. So not many teams do that. Talking of Christmas, Manchester United won't be on the telly on Boxing Day, but make sure you do watch the televised game at 12:30. Crystal Palace v Watford. Whoa, can't wait. Excited or what? Christmas dinner, turkey sandwiches can wait for that absolute showstopper. Crystal Palace versus Watford. What a game to pick. United are playing Sunderland on Boxing Day at 3 o'clock kickoff. We will have a watch along. I'm not absolutely sure about how we'll do it. Well, we will do it, but I don't know. It should just be a straightforward 3 points, you would hope. But hopefully United will win this and we can watch Match of the Day tonight. We've been watching. We're spoilt at the moment. I've watched 2 Match of Days in a row. As I said to you before, I've watched Songs of Praise more than I've watched Match of the Day in the last few years. I hate it when refs do that, when they keep the flag down like they're not going to do it, and then they go, "Ooh, yes, it's through. Shut that door." Shepherd's pie, Marky Mark, says Fandy. I'm having Chinese tonight. Diverse. Why doesn't Mourinho play Memphis Depay? Abraham says. Because he's crap. Man United are very good in the youth, says Liam. Yes. Late to the party there with that comment, Liam, but we've been very good at the youth for about 100 years. Herrera looked like a flop under Van Gaal, but he's like a star now, says Brandon Keys. I don't think he looked like a flop under Van Gaal. I just don't think he got used very much. Single male 51, you're descending into vulgarity with your comments. I would never do anything like that. News Mourinho tried to sell Rooney to Napoli. I've heard this, but I've been out today. Is there any truth in that, folks? When did he try to sell him to Napoli? What paper was it in? Give us more facts. I'll give you a comment. Mark, are you watching any Christmas films? Kellen says. Not at the moment. I'm watching Manchester United. I did record The Fellowship of the Ring today, Lord of the Rings. I like that at Christmas. Star Wars channel, I'll be watching a lot of that on Sky Movies. Watched Rogue One, brilliant. I have a bit of a weird... there's not much going on at the moment, don't worry. I have a bit of a weird lineup of Christmas things that I like to watch. Well cleared by Phil Jones, Cross coming in. The Revenant, I've watched that last Christmas, and I watched it the other week. I quite like that as a Christmas film, even though it's not Christmassy. I think it's just the snow. Die Hard, obviously, is a classic. I'll be watching that. And then the normal stuff. Polar Express, Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Elf, The Grinch, Wonderful Life, Jaws 2, that sort of thing. Will Mickey be back for the Sunderland game, says Barry Doyle? I would hope so, because it's Saturday today and our next game's a week on Monday, so it's a nine-day gap. Rojo's having to cover for Darmian a lot, says Romario. Very good points. Why do people say Pogba is a flop, says Andrew Jackson. Jealousy. Is Marshall or Rashford better, says Jean Shai. I'm not answering that. Bobby Ben says keep it up with the videos. Thanks everybody. In fact, let's have a look while we're having a bit of positivity, because football can change quite quickly. 784 likes on the video. Drop us a like on the video. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes before half time. That'd be fantastic. Just click the like. As I say, with the watch-alongs in Skype Goldbridge, especially on a Monday, it's massively about you, and we like to get 1,000 likes on those videos because you deserve it. Simran's just come out with a very good question that we can sort of keep an eye on when the game lulls. Keane or Scholes in their prime? Keane for me. Oh, it's Phillips. This lad Phillips. Then he's one to keep an eye on for your fantasy football team, because he put the cross in for Rondon, skinned Valencia like a banana, and he's just shot from a long way out. But I've not really watched West Brom this season. I've got a life, and he looks quite good. That Phillips. He's not who I imagined him. I was thinking about somebody else who used to play for I think QPR or something. Do you think we're going to get Griezmann? Says Freaky Sport. I think we'll get him in the summer. Yeah. Liverpool have got Manchester City on New Year's Eve at 5 PM, so that's another game where if we win every game, that's Liverpool and City. They can't both win that week. So we've got Borough, they've got Liverpool, Man City. One of those draw ideal, they both lose 2 points and we gain 2 points. One of them loses, we gain 3 points. That's what I mean. Like, winning tonight is massive, because I think we'll win the next 2 games. And City, well, they could beat Arsenal and Liverpool, but either way, it's a massive favour for us. Few people saying Scholes over Keane anytime. No. You don't understand the history of Manchester United. I've got somebody. Scholes or Keane in their prime? Yeah, he says Keane. He's educated. I'll tell you why it's Roy Keane, because Scholes as a footballer in his prime is better than Roy Keane, but I've never seen anybody better than Roy Keane as a captain, and captains win titles. And if you're old enough to have been watching Manchester United throughout the whole Sir Alex Ferguson period, as I was, you take Roy Keane away. If Roy Keane never existed, if his mum and dad never conceived, and he'd never been a player at Manchester United, we wouldn't have the amount of titles we've got now, and we wouldn't have won the European Cup in '99, because when Scholes was on that same pitch as well, and when everybody else went missing, Roy Keane, on a yellow card, dragged us from nothing to that final in Turin, and he dragged us to many, many titles. So I think it's a fantastic question, Scholes or Keane in their prime. But if you're asking me who I'd rather have in my team, Roy Keane every day of the week, because it's not always about ability, it's about personality and leadership. And if you could bottle what Roy Keane is to Manchester United, you'd be onto a winner every day of the week. Without doubt, without question, the best leader I've ever seen play football. And he was a decent footballer as well. Oh, God. Fletcher. Nearly hitting the corner flag when it looked easier to hit the ball. But West Brom coming back into this. Nat John says, have you ever seen Christmas Vacation? I have. It's a good film. It's well worth a watch, actually. I haven't seen that advertised. If you live in the UK, Christmas TV is a bit dodgy this year because I haven't seen a lot of the stuff I like even advertised. I haven't seen Wonderful Life, Elf, Christmas Vacation. I haven't seen them advertised at all. But West Brom are starting to pin us in a little bit, but here's Lingard's chance to run. One thing I would level at Manchester United though, and especially when you look at the Spurs game and you look at the win against West Brom, is we do struggle to get that second killer goal. We get 1-0 up and maybe we deserve the second goal a lot of the time, but we always give teams a go. And let's think about that Palace game. West Brom are better than Palace. Palace had that one phase of good play where they worked a good opportunity and they took it out of the whole game. We've got to be careful about it. I think we need to start killing games off. Favourite after dinner Christmas dessert, says Ryan Allen. Well, I'm partial to a nice Wolves Viennetta. No, I'm not. I do like Viennetta, but I'm not a peasant. I like the traditional Christmas pudding with cream, and let's just see this out. Oh, Rojo. Well, it's fair play to the referee. He didn't actually give a foul then against Rojo when maybe it was. So that's 1-1 because we should have had a penalty too. I don't know whether that was in the box. Mark, who was better at United, Ronaldo or George Best, says Rowan. I cannot answer that question. I didn't see George Best. What I would say about George Best is that nobody actually can... nobody can understand how good George Best was as a player, and this is one thing I've said to a lot of people. George Best, all you can go off as somebody who's our age or younger, all you can go off is video clips, right? Now, George Best played in a period where football wasn't recorded. The only football that was on telly was recorded was the football that was on telly. So Manchester United weren't even on every week then. So all these clips we see of George Best would have been, he might have been on telly 5 times a season. That's the footage they're using. So when you see these YouTube clips of Ronaldo or Pogba or everything like that, just remember Pogba, Ronaldo, Messi, whatever, every minute of every game they've played over the last 10 years will be there as footage. George Best, you've probably got 5 games a season, yet he's probably played 60 games a season. So a massive proportion of his games aren't even recorded. So that's the thing about Best. There's so much of what he did that's not even out there to be seen. So I think George Best was probably one of the best players the world's ever had. Which is the best curry powder, says Anthony Abdurrahman. I don't know. Don't eat it. But we're approaching half time. We're 1 minute off. Herrera's cross. Oh, Zlatan was there again, but he's still got it on the back post. Darmian. See, if Darmian could cross, he would have crossed there, but instead he has to do a right-footed pass inside to Rooney. We need to have players who can cross from the right. Well in by Valencia. Dinky cross time. Darmian. He's rubbish. Oh, Lingard, please! Oh, Jesse! You've destroyed yourself! Dropped on the volley for him in the box. All the time in the world. Volleys it over the top. That would have been the perfect half of football from Jesse Lingard if he'd taken that opportunity. It bounces up lovely. That should be a goal every day of the week. It's not a sitter, but it's bounced lovely. He's got lots of time. It's all about technique, and he's just put it over the box, over the bar. Another 2 beers? Yes. Jesse. We're on 57,499 subscribers, and that's even before half time. So if you've not subscribed to the United Stand, click the subscribe button, get involved with the channel that is the only independent Manchester United fan channel and is totally and utterly all about your fan opinion, and we always will be. So get involved with the channel. I tell you what, we've hit that target quite quick. It's Christmas. Should we go for 58,000? I think that we should. Keep getting involved, but it looks like it's going to be half time. It will be half time soon. But I would say Lingard's on fire. West Brom's defence is terrified. He has been superb. I think what people miss the point with the United Stand is that, you know, there are people on the United Stand who've been very critical of Lingard. I think I've always said he's a squad player, not a first team player, and he's opened my eyes up today. We've definitely been critical about Rojo and Jones, and we definitely are critical about Fellaini. But if these players come and perform, now I don't think Marouane Fellaini could perform for Manchester United because I just don't think he's a very good footballer. But if they perform, then they deserve the credit. Now, whether Lingard is a first team player for Manchester United is up for debate, and it should never be decided after 45 minutes. But he's been absolutely superb in that half, and he deserves the credit that he's going to get. Man of the match, you know, we do man of the half. I thought it would be I thought he was absolutely superb. So he gets a massive, massive shout out. Massive shout out. And I'm very, very pleased. I'm very pleased with that half for United. You can't have everything, obviously, but I do get concerned that we get 1-0. We get 1-0 up, and then we don't get that second goal to kill a game. And I think if Crystal Palace have got a goal in them, then obviously it stands to reason that West Brom have probably got a goal in them as well. But it's currently it is currently 1-0 to Manchester United, and I think we should be absolutely ecstatic with that. Hopefully, going to have Ross joining us any minute. Hi, Ross, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, Mark?
Very good, very good.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now, I got you.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a bad connection, but I don't think there's a lot we can do about that at the moment. But happy with that half?
Yeah, absolutely chuffed to bits, to be honest, mate. It's good, I said about a first opportunity coming in the first sort of 5-10 minutes, and we actually had it, and we actually put it away, which is, something that we haven't done all season. So I'm absolutely chuffed with that. And yeah, the performance has been good. It's kind of more of the same from the Crystal Palace performance, if that makes sense, which is, it's good. And, there was a concerning moment with a Rondon header where Rojo and Jones just seemed to just not know where he was, which is a slightly concerning. But apart from that, more of the same in the second half, and we should see this result out.
I'll go to the toilet in a minute, actually, because there's a few things I want to talk about. Jesse Lingard, I was just saying there, gets a lot of stick, but this channel's certainly not afraid. I would love to get Alex on right now and bury him because he hates Lingard, but personally, I will have a go at a player if I don't think they're good enough. But if they put a performance in like that, we've done it with Jones and Rojo in the last few weeks. I thought there's two things for me. I think Mourinho has silenced those people, and I'm so glad that we weren't really negative about the Lingard one. It was more about the Darmian one that bothered us. But the Jesse Lingard one looked absolutely. We needed some pace in that final. Mata, Rooney and Zlatan, they wouldn't have given us any pace, and you saw it in the first few minutes. That what actually happened is we were trying to utilise Lingard's pace. I thought it was a penalty, by the way, but then we got the brilliant cross by him on the break again. Zlatan heads it home, and I think Lingard was my man of the match in that first half.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Mark. Totally agree. And Alex did put in the group chat, why was Lingard starting? I thought he's bound to have a good game now. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, his running is completely bamboozling now. They don't coming in. And that's where the majority of our sort of good players come from. It's a lot of Jesse Lingard movement. It's
great to see. I think he's the only player that can sort of, you know, he's nowhere near the level of Mkhitaryan. He's the only player that can get near the level of movement. He hasn't got the end product, but what a fantastic cross he put in, and it was great play all round. And you know, there was a little tug back from Zayt we all saw, but that's just a part and parcel of it. It's just fantastic play.
We are struggling a little bit with internet connection. I'll end the call and call you back, and hopefully that might clear it. This is what you get with live content. I'm not going to apologise for it. Well, I am apologising for it because it's not great, but the United Stand thrives and prides itself on live content. We pride on the fact that we've got your live comments on every stream that we have, and sometimes you are down to whatever the stream quality is, but hopefully that looks a lot better.
It's my internet.
All right, what you've watching other stuff?
No. For some reason, my internet's gone slow, so I'm doing it off my 4G now, which is better than my Wi-Fi, which is insane.
Yeah. I think I had a problem with it last week, but we were talking about Lingard there. Despite what was a good performance, and I will just pop out for a toilet break while you talk about this, because I think it's one of the things that you'd mentioned. I think we have a problem as a team getting that second goal, that real buffer, and I think that's what concerns me in the second half. I think we totally deserve to be ahead. We've had a good and that Lingard chance actually right before half time, he should have buried that. I'm not going to be too critical. I thought he had a really good half. The Rooney one where he gets tipped onto the bar, if that had been his equal for the record, it would have been fantastic. I think we deserve to be 2-0 up, but if Palace can get a good chance against us, I'm sure West Brom will. In fact, you know, as good as Rojo and Jones have been, I don't know what they were doing on that chance for Rondon, but that's the concern for United, isn't it? You know, we never seem to be able to get that second goal. Even against Palace, we let them back in, then we get a goal. We need to get that second goal in this game, I think. I'll be back in a minute.
100%. The problem that United have at the minute is we seem to sort of play all out, a lot of creativity, and get the first goal, and then we kind of sit back and act like we're 2 or 3 goals ahead. Well, we're not. We're only a goal ahead, and we seem to be overplaying it a lot around the box. I mean, some of the football is absolutely fantastic, and it's beautiful to watch. But at the same time, I'd rather just see crosses get in the box, and kind of, you've always got to have the mentality that you're 1-0 down, regardless of of what the actual score is, because otherwise you're just going to lay back too much, and you kind of. United just seem to wait to concede when they go 1-0 up, which shouldn't be the mentality. We need to keep pushing forward and keep trying for that second goal. And hopefully, I think this will happen quite early on in the second half, because we need to go out there again and just bamboozle them with some movement, to be honest. So that's what I would do as the manager. Can't really see any substitutions that I'd make. I don't know if you take Lingard off because after about 60 minutes, because he'll probably start fading away a bit, or you've got the Martial for Rooney sub as well. So there's other elements, but it looks like we might see another 90 minutes for Michael Carrick, and based on the fact that we're not playing till Boxing Day now, that he has got a week's rest, so that might help him out. But 3 games in 1 week. Pretty much, it's great going for a guy of his age in midfield. It's a bit easier for a striker because your movement can be quite limited. But for a midfielder, you have to be in the right position all the time. And I think it's absolutely fantastic from him. And like I say, more of the same in the second half from me, and probably Martial for Rooney if I was to make a sub. But that would be after sort of 60, 70 minutes. No way before that, because you don't want to break up the continuity in the team at the minute. And also, Mark, I will say that despite all the criticism from me as well as you, Darmian's played okay in that half. Nothing great, but hasn't had a bad half.
Yeah, there was.
To crack open another beer.
There were people. I'm multitasking. I'm sorting my beer out for the second half. I'm trying to sort out what Chinese we're all having after the match. But we're talking about. There was a good comment off the live comments when the game was live about Rojo having to cover for Darmian a lot. I mean, Darmian's not done a lot wrong, and I never expect a professional footballer to be so poor when we say I would have picked Blind over Darmian, that Darmian's going to be absolutely atrocious. I thought there was what I would say, there was a couple of opportunities in that first half where Darmian got it in a position with a lot of space where I thought if that's Daley Blind, he can whip that in with his left foot, but instead it's on his right foot, he plays a 5-yard pass to Rooney and we don't put the ball in, and I think that's what we really lack down the left hand side. And in this game especially, when we've scored from across, I think he could really offer us something up there. But story of the second half, do you think there will be changes? I sort of alluded to it a little bit in the first half, that I think this game was well poised to see at least a Rashford or a Martial coming on in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And the sub, Jesse Lingard seems to sort of he fades in games quite a lot, and I know he had that chance at the end, but he started to look as fading towards the end of the second half. But he'll probably come out with a renewed energy, but come 60, 65 minutes, I'll be looking to take him off. And it'll be interesting because it's only really Martial or Mata really that I can see coming on in that position, or even take Rooney off. But the sub that I'll be making is Lingard, because Rooney has looked quite good tonight. Nowhere near the level that he should be playing at, and we all know he can play at, but there's signs that it's slow, but he's improving game by game this season. And like I say, he might need just a short run of games. And also, Mark, our top betting tips have come in so far, and hopefully they continue.
What was yours again?
Ibra to score first, and United to win without conceding a goal. Two separates.
Okay, let's go down that menu there and don't add anything. We can add it in, but don't order it. I would definitely be pulling Lingard off after about 60 minutes. But you know what I mean. But no, I think he will be absolutely knackered. I think he's run around so much, and that's why I think it's really, really well set up to use Martial and or Rashford, either or. I think, as I said, I can't express my admiration for Mourinho enough. I forgot what my first bit was, but I think, a lot of people question the Lingard, a lot of people on the live comments. In my mind, I did question it slightly, but maybe not. I agreed with Mata being dropped because I think that pace was important. Maybe I might have played Martial and moved Rooney to the right, but it's worked out so well. And that's what you want to see from the manager. I think we've had two managers in Moyes and Van Gaal where we as fans feel as if we know more and did know more than what they did about players and clubs. You look at Van Gaal totally ignoring Herrera, and then we always knew he was a United quality player. You look at Moyes and his over-reliance on, people like Rooney when he should have been using Van Persie more, etc. But I like managers, and I definitely like Mourinho when he's doing things like that, and you go, I don't know about that, and then you're at half time like we are now and going, you know what, he's absolutely spot on, and Lingard was obviously raring to go and up for this.
Well, we had years and years of that with Alex Ferguson, because he used to make some bizarre starting 11s, and I used to think, what the hell? But you just, in your mind, you couldn't argue against it, because if it's Sir Alex Ferguson. And you totally agree, I'm starting to get a little bit like that with Mourinho, because the lineup come out today, was a few eyebrows raised, but I was so calm and had so much faith in the team that he was going to put out. And we all said at the start of the season that Mourinho tends to pick a starting 11 and picked it throughout the season, and we were all a bit confused as to what he was doing with the United team. But I think we're starting to see a spine of the team playing very well, and he can make tiny little changes, which is what you need tactically depending on who you play, but the spine's there and it's playing so well. We've got Zlatan leading the line, Pogba just being majestic, Herrera working his socks off, Carrick just being Michael Carrick, an absolute superb positional player. And the defence, we know can improve, but we have the players to improve it. For one reason or another, they're not available at the minute. So it's positive times for United, and don't want to speak too soon because we've got a second half to get by, but if we can get a result today, the momentum we're going to have is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, we've got to get the results, haven't we? We'd be disappointed to not get the result. It's only half time. Jay is asking if it's over. We've got to get the 3 points, and I think if we do get these 3 points, we'll massively go into Christmas so positive. Ross was talking about it before. I think I've alluded to the fact certainly we've got Sunderland and Borough at home over the next two, which we should win. But City have got Arsenal tomorrow, and the week we've got Borough at home. City have got Liverpool. So if the massive point about winning the games is not to get concerned because Liverpool and Spurs won well on Wednesday night. We won, we stay with them. It's about winning every week so that when they do drop points, we jump in and take advantage of that. And over this weekend, there will definitely be a chance for us if we win today. We will definitely make up some ground on people because City are playing Arsenal, so we're going to make ground up on them for sure. Well done. I'll do that in the second half. Right, okay. We're sorted on our Chinese order and we are ready to go with the second half. Ross, you are joining me tomorrow for the Christmas special at 8:30.
Indeed, I am.
Good.
Yeah.
Twitter @Hazza90.
That's the one.
Thanks very much for coming on as per usual. I was hoping
I'm going to order my Indian now, Mark.
Indian. We're diverse on this channel, and hopefully your 3-0 might come off. I mean, realistically, we should have been 2-0 up at half time. So I think you were very right to say that it might not be tight and we might win it. But we're about to come back into the second half. I will see you on the show tomorrow, and thanks as ever for coming on.
Cheers, Mark. Appreciate that.
See you in a bit. Right. I think the only thing that's important in this second half is that we come out of it with the 3 points. I don't think it's Manchester United at the end of the day. It's never plain sailing, is it? The reality is we definitely should be 2-0 up in this game. But I did say, as much as I'm making money for you with the last couple of bets I've done for you, with the Zlatan to score in both games, I did say both teams to score in this game as well, and I probably wouldn't change my view on that. But if we get a clean sheet, we get a win, but I think we need to get a second goal. And let's hope that we do. We're about ready to kick off the second half. So timer will go up any second now. And we're off. Second half is off. Joe Keno saying no one likes you. Just remind Joe that we've got 1,000 likes on the video. Do we think we will get anybody next transfer window? James Arnold. I think we definitely will. I do. I think we will, yeah. In fact, there's talk of Lindelof, isn't there? Which I think is there a deal to be done. But I don't necessarily know if I want him. Ross orders an Indian and turns out it's Bangladeshi. Lots of okay. Mark, get Kevin Ashford on Skype along, says Adrian Smith. Kev's always invited on the show. He used to be on the Sunday show every week. It's his choice that he doesn't find the time to come on it, but you've got Van Cam if you want. We walk United, says Abia. What about Fabinho from Monaco, says Angolo. That would be nice. However, it's he's in the Champions League, isn't he, with Monaco? So it's difficult. I think what West Brom will start doing now is throwing themselves on the floor in our half to try and put long balls into the box. Ozil finishes Vieira or Roy Keane. Are you having a laugh? There is no comparison. Look at the amount of titles that Vieira's got and look at how many Roy Keane's got, and their end of the lesson. But we're up and running in this second half. We need the second goal, and we are not behind. Shane Great 101 says we need to score before the 58th minute. I don't know why. Michael Real says I wish Mourinho would go after Virgil, and then I think he means Virgil van Dijk, not Virgil from Thunderbirds, which actually is even too old for me. I don't know why I'm doing jokes about that. Show us the second half, please, says Basilas30. We need a second striker, Mark. Who do you want, says Nathan Love. Do we need a second striker? Got Rashford, Zlatan, Rooney, Valencia. It's a crap pass by Rooney, to be honest. He's shown he'll sub Rooney though, so I certainly think there's probably been quite a lot of work put in by our attackers today. So I would expect Lingard to come off at some point, and possibly Rooney as well. He never seems to like to sub Pogba, Herrera or Carrick, and certainly not Zlatan. Is Lingard in the right position? Trying to pass without looking. The side boys says he thinks we'll get 3 points. I hope we get 3 points. Well, Rondon's done there. He's nearly given a corner away. Pogba. Mr. Diabalis says, what are your thoughts on Berbatov coming back? I don't think he's coming back. I've heard a few people on about this. I don't think he's coming back. I think he's just he's training up for his coaching badges. Toby Johnson says the game's a little slow. It'd be interesting to see how United approach this half from a tactical position, because we have got that 1-0 lead, haven't we? And it's like, you know, Mourinho likes to defend a 1-0 lead. I did watch the Chelsea Crystal Palace game today, and I think they were a perfect lesson in how to defend a 1-0 lead. They gave no chances up, and they were very, very threatening on the break, but very solid when they needed to defend. And, you know, you can do it. I'm not convinced that our team is good enough to do that yet defensively. I think we've still got a couple of issues. Best player in this match, says Zen. For me, it's still probably Lingard at the moment. Spriok is a Stoke fan. Oh dear, you must be gutted. 2-0 up against the 10-man team. And you draw 2-2. You've got Mark Hughes as your manager. Jack Dixon, we need Burnley to hold Spurs to a draw. No, this is what I was on about with Ross there. I think you've got to be patient about this. Manchester United just need to keep winning and winning their games. We don't need Spurs and Liverpool and Arsenal and City to lose every week so that we catch them tomorrow. It's a marathon. You've just got to gradually pull them in with good results. And if we win today, I would expect us to win our next 2 game weeks. Well, we're going to make ground up on Arsenal or City tomorrow. If Everton don't bottle it like they normally do against Liverpool, we'll make up ground against them on Monday if we win. Next week, I think most teams have got quite an easy game on Boxing Day, so we might not make any points up on anybody. But the week after that, I think Spurs have got Southampton away. We're at home to Borough. Liverpool have got City. So then we'll chip away at them again. I think the reality is, I said this, and I think I said it in the middle of November. If we are within 5 points of 4th place come New Year's Day, game on. And I think that is absolutely there for us to be in that position as long as we win this game. And I expected West Brom to be a difficult game, but actually on the balance of this game, oh, it's not even a foul. It's not even a foul. It's just strength. Watching it back now, it's not a foul. He is the same idiot who tried to hand Liverpool the game at Anfield. I just think for what is probably one of the most lucrative mediums in the world, the FA Premier League, the standard of officiating is absolutely subpar. It is atrocious, and not just mainly in United games because they're corrupt, but in a lot of games as well. It is just atrocious. And you know why I think it is? I think it's because a lot of these referees are like Michael Oliver and stuff like that. Little geeky kids at school who were crap at football who think, I want to be involved in it, I want to be a referee. I've said for years and years and years, that should have been a yellow card then, of that foul on Herrera. These referees are geeks who are out when they're 17, 18, wearing the little black uniform, refereeing pub games and stuff like that because they want to get through the ranks of the FA. Referees should be the likes of, instead of going and being a bloody pundit, get some good quality ex-professional footballers in their mid-30s when they retire to go and do the badges to be a referee because they've played the game, they know the score. That's the problems with referees. There's Rooney into the box and it's a corner. The referee, you've got to be able to play. You've got to have played the game to be a referee for me. I don't think you've got to have played the game to be a decent pundit about football, but to be a referee, you've got to have played the game. And I don't mean necessarily Premier League or anything like that, but played football, know what the little intricacies of it are. Because these are just referees who've learned it from a book as a young age. They've not played the game, and that's where it's the problem. And they don't demand enough respect, but they don't have an understanding of the game at all, and it's glaringly obvious. And at such a high level, they're just so exposed week in, week out. Jonathan Rice is one of them nerdy kids. Apparently he's training to be a referee. Well, if you don't crack a few eggs, you don't make an omelette. And I will say it how it is, and that's my problem with refereeing. And fair play to you if you're trying to be a referee, but do you not agree with me that actually it would be far more beneficial at the highest level if you had referees who actually understood the game and had played it? Because this clown today, and every Manchester United game pretty much this season, it's as if they've never played the game in their life because they've got no concept of what's a foul, what's a dive. Awful. And also, the best referee I've ever seen was old Slaphead. What was his name? Collini or something like that. You've got to have a personality about you as well. They're like bloody robots. Have a personality. Get in the face of players. They've just got no personality, and they're not respected. And they bottle it. And a lot of them, Clattenburg's the best at this. He goes to a home ground and he plays to the home crowd because he likes the adulation and the cheering. And that's not what a referee should be. You should have the power of your own conviction that, yes, 30,000 people might not like you, but you make the right decision. Homosexual horse, you're not banned. You probably just said a word. Ugh! It's Zlatan again! Game on! Game over! 2-0! Boom! Woo! Have it! We've taken that. I told you, he's becoming what it's all about. Oh, it's good as well. He skins 2 players as well. Oh, lovely stuff. It's a soccer goal. 16 and counting, and it's a great finish. It was a come off the defender. Whatever. 2-0. He might not get given that goal. If it was on target, he'll get given it. Oh dear. Liverpool fans, their title dreams are being torn apart by Chelsea going 9 points ahead. And they'll be crying into their bins tonight. Because United are... I tell you, they keep going on about, oh, you're in 6th place. We don't worry about teams in 6th place. I've told them, we will finish above you. We will finish above you. We're coming hard from behind. And we will catch you up. We will catch you and Arsenal. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and it's that second goal as well. That second goal, that's that buffer at Christmas as well. It's like something from above. Yellow card here for Lingard. Look at him, he's doing his best. Anthony Taylor is doing his absolute best to take this result away because he's thinking, oh, my bosses are not happy. They told me to screw it up for United, and I've not been able to do it. Kev McGee, he's too old, he's passed it for Zlatan, and then a smile. Exactly, I know exactly what you're coming at, Kev. We heard it all in the summer. Not good enough, can't do it. I tell you what, this what makes me laugh. Let's slag Arsenal off a little bit for a few minutes. This is what makes me laugh about Arsenal. Arsene Wenger, bottling manager. The longer they keep him, the better, because they'll never win the league. But also, you'll have done this as well if you've got any analysis of football. What's always amazed me about Arsenal is tiki-taka, nice football. The defence, sometimes good, sometimes bottle it, but they play good football, etc., etc. But the obvious thing since Thierry Henry left, which must be a decade now, is if I was Arsenal manager, me as Arsenal manager, the first thing I would go and do is spend as much as I can on a 30-goal a season striker. They've been missing that ever since Thierry Henry left. They use absolute donkeys like Giroud up front and all the other crap like Shamak and, our cast-offs like Welbeck. As much as I like him, he's not top quality. You put Zlatan in that Arsenal team, they'd probably win the league. They probably would win the league. And that's how stupid their manager is at Arsenal, that they don't understand that. Absolutely superb striker. You stick Zlatan in any Premier League any Premier League side, and he'll score goals. It's not rocket science. Absolutely not rocket science that he was going to come to United and start scoring goals. And when he did start scoring goals and the team starts playing well, then we'll start doing well individually. Not individually, collectively. Because ultimately, you can have your stats about how many take-ons you've done and how many back passes you've done and how many times you've pulled your socks up. But the reality is the most important stat is if somebody's scoring goals, you're probably going to start winning games. And the only stat there is for Zlatan, I don't care how many bloody aerial duels he wins or anything like that. It's how many how many balls he puts in the back of the net. And he's the best at it. Absolutely brilliant. And a lot of excitement in the live comments, which there should be, because I do think United are building something. And I do think that, I know that the last 3 years has been abysmal. And the fact is that our squad is still full of deadwood crap signings that were made by previous managers. But this manager is the right manager for the job. We will still have dips. We are not there yet. But we will gradually get there and get there and get there. And if we can salvage top 4 out of this season, when it looked like it was gone, then I think that'll be a great, great season. In fact, somebody said to me today, League Cup, Europa League and top 4, would you be happy with that? I would be over the moon and back. I would be Apollo 13. I'd be brilliant. Absolutely superb. So, it's not there yet. It's going to take a lot of work. But if we can hold... I cannot underestimate what I'm about to say to you now. If we can hold this 2-0 win, it's massive. It's the biggest result of the season because we've got Sunderland and Borough at home. And whilst we could mess that up, we should be winning both of those games. That'd be 5 wins in a row. And all the teams above us have got to play each other, more or less, within that period. So we're going to make up ground. It'd be massive. Absolutely massive. And this is all before New Year's Day. New Year's Day, we could be in the top 4. Unbelievable. Maron Fellaini says, put me on as a sub to secure the 3 points. And Anis Ahmed says United will be in the top 3. Trust him. Always. West Brom, though, in with a chance. Just needs to cut it back. Awful. Offside, anyway. It doesn't matter. Mark, no offence, but you do seem a bit tipsy, says Water Warrior. No, I deny that. Well, top 3. I said last week, even before the Spurs game, I said last week we will finish above Liverpool. How brave was that? We haven't even beaten Spurs. We've taken 9 points now. We will finish above Liverpool, 100%, 100%. But I think we'll finish against Arsenal. I'm gonna double that bet. I'm gonna double chance it. I think we'll finish above Arsenal. It's just so good. It means match of the day potentially is there to be watched. Let's not forget, Stoke fans are on the live comments. They'll warn us. You can slip up and throw a 2-0 lead away. But we just got to push it. Zlatan and a hat-trick, yes. We'll beat Arsenal this season with Carrick. We are still unbeaten this season with Carrick, says Attel. Amazing stat that is. But it's not all about Carrick, although he does he just gives the team a platform and he reads the game so well. And let's not forget, you know, if we win this game, but it's looking highly likely that we will. Can't, you know, Sunderland and Borough at home, come on. I know we've dropped points against Burnley and Stoke, but I think we've probably learnt our lesson against those, and I think Jose will make sure we've learnt that lesson. Good defending by Rojo there against Rondon. You beat Stoke and Burnley, West Ham away at the neutral ground, as I call it, and then we've got Liverpool at home. We can win that game. That's 3 points on there. What's Rundan doing? He might be going here. There's lots of pointing. Something going on. I don't know what it is. But Rojo's basically been bullying Rondon. This ref will bottle it. It'll be a yellow card. Yeah, there's not going to be a red card here. Just waiting to see what's going to happen. Yellow card for both. Yeah, soft way out. Coward referee. Yellow card for both when quite clearly Rondon is the instigator here. Virtually elbows him on the floor. Rojo gets up. So Rojo gets booked for nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he slaps him afterwards as well. He actually pushes him in the face and slaps him afterwards. Ref's a joke. Absolute joke. And Rojo gets the yellow card. The referee has just called Rooney over because he's basically just said to Rooney, I'm out my depth. What shall I do? You're an experienced international of football. You've had lots of referees. What should I do next? Absolute shocking. I mean, this goes back to what I was on about. A referee totally out of his depth who does... I called it before it even happened. I bet he books both players because that's what out-of-depth referees do. But Rondon is the one on all of it. Slaps Rojo around the face. He'd already shoved him in the chest. He's got to get, but Rojo gets a yellow card. Absolutely ridiculous. .66 minutes gone. Should be a red, Anthony. I mean, we must. I was very tempted to put a tweet out about Rojo getting slapped and everything there. And I thought, you know what, you're actually just leaving yourself wide open because Rojo should have had a red card in the last game and the one against Everton. So we'll move along. But having said that, it's still shocking refereeing to just book both. It's weak. But I think we do need to get hold of the ball a little bit better in this half. 66 minutes gone. A goal for West Brom gives them a lot of time to get a goal back as well. So surely, you know, Lingard's sort of dropping out of this game a bit. Martial or Rashford, I think, get them on. Title challenge next season, says Florence, 100%. We'll win the league next year. I've been saying this for weeks. Subscribe to the United Stand. Get involved in the United Stand. Watch what we're saying. Watch what you lot are saying. United will win the league next year. 100%. Mourinho does it everywhere he goes. He wins the title in the first 2 years. I think you know, this year, unfortunately, because of the start we had, it will be too hard. But we will start. I think around January, February time, we're going to be winning week in, week out, and we will take that form with a couple of new signings in the summer, and we'll hit it hard, and the players will know what's expected. He'll have the players he wants. We'll be far better. Fellaini time. That's not a bad shout. I think we will probably see Fellaini. I think Eric Bay is going to really struggle to get back into this team at the moment because as much as we're all concerned about Jones and Rojo and we sort of expect them to make mistakes, etc., the reality is West Brom away is one hell of a challenge, and at the moment they're keeping a clean sheet and playing really, really well. I've not heard Fellaini's coming on yet, MS Charlie, but I just think it's the sort of substitution that I think Mourinho might make because West Brom's threat is pace. And the referee lets West Brom take a quick free kick and they throw it out. Fellaini is warming up, by the way, I must just say. Over 1,000 likes already on the video, which is absolutely fantastic. If you're new to the United Stand, we're live pretty much every night at 8:30. Tomorrow night's our Christmas special, but we are always live at 8:30 on a Sunday with the United Review. On Monday night, it's Skype Goldbridge, and then we've got preview shows and everything, but we've got a lot of different content coming for you over the next week because it's Christmas, sort of reviewing the year, etc., etc. Good chance for West Brom. Good block by Darmian. We get away with it a little bit. I think we need to sort of kick up the backside a little bit because we are starting to just invite West Brom on a little bit. But the hologram in the bottom right hand corner is the way to subscribe, and if you do subscribe, I think you can hit a bell that will let you know every time we go live, because we basically are a channel that is 100% really about live content and the live comments box, etc. We're on 57,600 subscribers, so is there an outside chance we could hit 58 before the end of the show? Click the subscribe, get involved. But I'm hoping we sort of, at least we're not 1-0 up. This is normally United when it's 1-0, starting to sit back a little bit, but we're 2-0 up. Having said that, they always, you know, I remember playing football, and you know, you hear it a lot on the telly as well. 2-0 is sometimes a more dangerous score than 1-0 because you think you've got the game won, but if they get one, it gives them that momentum, and there's more than enough time for West Brom to do that, and they're definitely on the front foot at the moment. Shout out please, says Jack Higgs. West Brom looking for a penalty there. Valencia on the break. We've not really created anything on this second half though. And United on the break here, and I can only see 3 United players, and yet I can see 8 West Brom. I think I don't know whether we're tired or we're just sort of trying to sit back and got what we've got. But with 20 minutes, it's too early to be sitting back. We've got to try and produce something a little bit better than what we have so far in the last 10 minutes. You know, I think we feel that the game is sort of won. Johnny says, imagine Messi in a Man United kit. Sounds a bit sexual to me, but I think I know what he means. I've never drank Carlsberg since they sponsored you know who. Patrick Grimley. I told you before why I'm drinking Carlsberg, because Chelsea won today. They're 9 points off, 9 points ahead of Liverpool, and this is sort of my solution my salute to Liverpool fans, you know, because they were sponsored by this brand, and apparently this was going to be their year. They were going to win the title this year, and they're not going to win the title this year. So there's to you. Merry Christmas. I prefer Heineken. I'm not sponsored by them. We are catching the Scousers 4 points behind them, says Gary Burks. Exactly. What a Saturday for Liverpool. They've gone from being 6 points off the title to 9, and they've gone from being 7 points ahead of us to 4. Granted, they might well win at Liverpool. They might well win at Everton, but we will catch Liverpool. Have no doubt about it. If we can win this game tonight, I think it's 3 in a row in 3 difficult games. You know, Spurs were 6 points ahead of us last Sunday. We ground a result out there, and then we've gone away twice and got 2 victories. Hopefully, if we can hold out in this one, and that is massive. Now, like I say, you must know it now. It must be imprinted on your brain. Sunderland and Borough at home, 6 points there. They're there to be thrown away because they are in the pocket. West Brom making a sub. Well, it's probably about 10 minutes too early for me to say this, but what I was going to say is, you know, West Brom are a decent team this season. They're very, very high up in the league, 7th. They were unlucky against Chelsea, who were blitzing it in the league. They won very well on Wednesday night. A very good side, very good side. Chicken omelette with chips and peas. What? Chicken omelette with chips and peas.
Yeah, is that that?
No, just that's like egg.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll have it. Yeah, I'll have it. Yeah.
Wakar, I've read your comment. It's the last one you're going to make on the United stand. Cheerio. Haters will be got rid of. But and again, another free kick for West Brom, which is... Oh. Defended again very, very well from the dead ball, which is encouraging to see. Yeah, chicken omelette with chips and peas. A lot of people heard it. I'm just finalising the Chinese order. As Lingard comes off, I was as stunned as anybody, but that's not what I'm having. Lingard for Rashford, not surprised. Right wing, and I predicted that in the first half. The amount of running Lingard had done. He wasn't that good in the second half. I'm not going to say he was definitely man of the match for the first half. For the second half, maybe not. We'll see. I think again you might have to start looking in the direction of Zlatan or Jones and Rojo. For me personally, but a good performance by Lingard, probably 7 or 8 from the first half, dropped down 1. So I'd have him as I'd put him as a 7. I think he's had a good game, maybe possibly an 8. It's amazing what you can do when you're live, isn't it? I'm ordering a Chinese, I'm watching United, I'm integrating with you, or interacting, I'm not integrating. We need Fellaini on, says Ricky Clarkson. I think he's joking. Kebab on chips, what are you having tonight? You know, some of you, it's not even tonight. It would be very UK centric to say that. But requested time, order summary. That's done. That's done. I think what we've got in mind for our evening is more beer, celebrating the United win, match of the day, Chinese, and maybe watch the second half of Star Wars, because watched Rogue One last night. What a transition into A New Hope. Maybe you don't like Star Wars. Maybe you like Star Trek. Apparently there is a link between Star Trek and no, I'm not going to say it. It's not a good link. Controversy reigns on the United stand. Steak and chips, Paul Duffy. A standard Saturday night meal, that. You can't beat steak and chips on a Saturday night. I like it with onions and mushrooms. Nice bit of baked beans as well, yeah. But this game is sort of Lingard, Rashford's away with pace down the right-hand side. Jumping on it like a fat kid on cake. Gets past one. Feeds Rooney. Hit it. Bad first touch. Play on, says the referee. Thought it was a foul. Florence Sawash, Rogue One, brilliant. Thomas Williams, Lord of the Rings, better than Star Wars. I like both, but you're wrong. Please, a hat-trick for Zlatan, says Robin. Nobody cares about your life story, you waste man, says RMFC Henry. Lovely bloke. Welcome to the channel. Rooney is fat, says Barry Doyle. Double pepperoni pizza, Bellboy. Why no Fellaini, Void Walker. What happened to United stand FIFA League, says the Football Bear. We did it. Somebody won it. The winners got their prize. Robson or Keane in their prime. Not old enough really to remember Robson in his prime. That's from Jonathan Kidd. Cheeseburger. Chinese as well. Robbie Fisher. Like a fat boy on cake. Thomas Williams. Fat kid on cake. Fellaini or Schneidlin. Schneidlin. Mark, please can you check Twitter, says Callum7. I can. I've checked. Well, what am I checking on Twitter, Callum? Don't know what I'm looking for on there, mate, so I'll have to bin it. Oh, Callum. Question from Callum. Can I ask you a question? Should we start in midfield Pogba, Mata and Herrera, or Carrick, Pogba and Herrera? Also, I'm watching your vid now. I think you've got to go with Carrick, Pogba and Herrera. It just works, doesn't it? I think there is obviously, if you're at home, you might want to play more expansive. Then I think Mata's a good player. But I think in this sort of game where you've got to grind it out, I think Carrick, Herrera and Pogba work really, really well. What did you order, Mark? Beef chow mein, egg fried rice, and sweet and sour chicken. But I'll share it. It's not just all for me. I'll have a little bit of both. Mark, what result do you want from Man City versus Arsenal? Tony United stand. A draw. A draw for Christmas. That'd be perfect. And if you're pushing me, I'd probably prefer... If I can't have a draw, I'd probably prefer Arsenal to win, because Arsenal will bottle it in February, whereas City with Aguero back might hit a bit of consistency. I'd like to catch City as well. I think that's the bonus. I think you know what? I think what we need to do is catch Liverpool, catch Arsenal. Fellaini's coming on. He fucking loves Fellaini, doesn't he? He just can't help himself. There's still 9 minutes. He just can't help it, can he? You know, you more or less pick a perfect team and a perfect performance, and then you try and gloat by chucking on a crap twat who is just not a United player. Why do it? SS Abraham says, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Thomas Williams, it's Fellaini time. You will love it. I know you love it, and you know you all know I hate it, but I don't really give a shit, to be honest, because as long as we win this game, I could have put up with Fellaini for the last 9 minutes. But what I don't like is, do we really need to be sitting back against West Brom with 7 minutes to go when we're 2-0 up? No, we don't. But we're going to sit back now, and we're going to invite pressure, and I don't like that. I don't think that is against United that I know and love. It's not anything. We never did that with Sir Alex. We don't do that. But Mourinho, like I said to you before, youth, forget about it. He ain't going to use Fosu Mensah. He's never been a youth manager, and I don't think he's going to change in the way that he does things defensively. And he's taking Rooney off now for Fellaini, so we're taking part of our width off to basically park the bus. Here we go again, says Terry Dean. Rooney will break the record at some point. I'm sure about that. Good, fantastic comment just came in there. Full-time Red Devil. I don't understand. What does he offer? We're dealing with fine with the aerial threat. Exactly. Why bring that sort of player on for Wayne Rooney? You know, we are dealing fine with the height. Bring Tony Martial on. Bring Mata on. You know. And what I love is as well, we don't put him high up the pitch near Zlatan. He's out of trouble. Straight away he goes into defensive midfield, so he's going to be pissing around in the box again, isn't he? Throwing his stupid arms and legs about like some sort of, I don't know, Mr. Tickle. Crap. I hate it. You know what? I know I've had a drink while I've been doing this, and it makes me speak truthfully, but every time I see him in a United shirt, my eyes are drawn towards him, and I get this big sick feeling inside because he's rubbish. There's a ball on here, Pogba. Oh, if you'd seen that, Rashford was ready. Fellaini, back pass. Zen Dragon says buy 3 points. I don't think it will be that. I'll be amazed if we can lose 3 points with 6 minutes to go. I know it can happen, but I don't think that will happen. I don't think that's going to be the problem. But I mean, Fellaini there, what's he doing? He's past Darmian, and Fellaini's like meant to be covering him, and he's just jogging. Oh, I think it's going to go for a goal kick, and then he realises it's not. You lazy twat! You're not even on the pitch 2 minutes, and you can't be asked to run track back to the full back. So if you're watching it now, you'll see what I mean. Past Darmian, and then Fellaini thinks, "Oh shit, I better run! I better run!" Bloody lazy clown. Who do we play next, says Shanawaz. Is that a joke? I must have told everybody that we're playing Sunderland and Borough home next 2 games a million times, and I'm probably boring everybody to tears with it. But if we do win this game, Sunderland and on Boxing Day and Borough on New Year's Eve at home, you've got to be feeling confident over Christmas this year, thinking, wow, we've got 6 points in the bank pretty much before the end of the year if we turn up. And I tell you what, Arsenal, Liverpool, whatever, they'll be giving it the big one, don't worry. But have no fear. They will be absolutely fully aware that we're coming, and we're coming hard from behind. And we will catch Liverpool. We will catch them. Here's Rashford. Oh, God, that is awful from Brunt. It's got yellow. Rashford just got him on toast for pace, and he absolutely looks at him and barges him. I think that should be a red. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Fellaini's just crawling around on the floor. Don't know what he's doing. He's awful, isn't he? I mean, is Mourinho having a laugh? Is he having a laugh? Oh, Pogba nearly got another one of his take-ons then. The stat man would have been happy, but no, he didn't get past. Oh, Fellaini's made a tackle. Hey, give him some. Really give him some. Cheer him. He's made a tackle. He's earned his 80 grand a week this year. 80 grand a week. Unbelievable. Well in. I think Herrera and Carrick have been good again today without being obvious, messy, 10 past 10 players and 30-yard screamers in the top corner. Just doing their job. Very, very good. Dominated the midfield in effect. Oh, Fellaini's cleared across. Sign him up. There must be teams out. There must be people out there who want to sign him on this performance. Still, well, we should have this game in the bag now. Cross comes in, goes for a... No, it's not still played on. But what a fantastic, you know, with jokes aside about Fellaini and everything like that, what a fantastic the result this would be if we can pull it off. Smalling's about to come on. But it would be a fantastic result. I think, you know, we can all get annoyed that Fellaini's had another appearance in a United shirt and it's over 100. Unbelievable. But 2-0, we would have took this. It's a very, very good result for United. 3 wins in 3. I think we'll have 5 in 5 by New Year's Eve, and I'll be amazed if we're not within 5 points of the top 4, maybe even better than that, which is absolutely amazing. When you think of the points we've thrown away, not through bad football, just through bad finishing and bad substitutions. 10 points. Burnley, Stoke, West Ham, Arsenal at home, Everton away. To be in this situation now is absolutely brilliant. And Mourinho will probably, well, Chelsea might get it actually, but he'd be right up there for manager of the month in December. It's been absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. Chris Smalling back fit is a massive positive as well. Going full defensive. Killer Lipan makes a good point. Why are we going full defensive? We should go full offensive. It's just, that's Mourinho. You're never going to change him, unfortunately. No hat-trick for Zlatan, I don't think. 4 minutes added on. If you're new to the United Stand, I have to do this every few minutes. Well, not every few minutes, it could be boring. Bottom right-hand corner is the hologram. Click that and subscribe to the channel. The reason I say that is because we don't want you just watching the watch-alongs. We want you to see what the channel really is about, which is daily live content. Tomorrow night is our Christmas special, but we are live at 8:30 every Sunday with sort of like a Sunday review, and we're going to be talking a lot tomorrow because it is the Christmas show. Not just about this weekend and recent stuff, but also about Mourinho, his time at United, what's gone well, what's not, and even previous to that, you know, the year in general. So join us for that tomorrow. Christmas jumpers and the like. Lots of guests coming on. 8:30 tomorrow. 8:30 Monday night is, as it always is, Skype Goldbridge. You get to Skype in and set the show, which is brilliant. Really enjoying them shows. But basically, we're doing, you know, we're live pretty much every night. We are the United Stand. It is your channel. You're up on the video with me, every video with your live comments. Loads going on. So don't just watch us on the watch-along. Subscribe, get the notifications when we go live, and get involved with our live shows. That's what we want, because the bigger we get, the bigger you get. And the United Stand, if it's got one line, which it always has actually, you know, it's not if, it has. It's real fan opinion, saying it how it is. A voice for the fans. Independent, you know, never going to be driven by other things or other, you know, mediums, or saying things to get interviews with players or journalists or anything like that. That's not the way we're going to do it. We're always going to say what we think, and you know, you may not agree with it, but that's the whole point. It's fan opinion. Some people think Fellaini's the best thing since sliced bread. Some people like me think he's crap, you know. But it's that's my opinion. That's what I think. Andre Robinson Herrera is definitely a future captain. I think just the fact that he's one of the first names on the team sheet for Mourinho is so satisfying. It's great. But this game is won, and you know, we were live an hour before the kickoff, as we always are with the team news. And if you'd offered us up 2-0, we'd have all been absolutely ecstatic. And what a way to, you know, we don't play again till after Christmas now. So if you are a watch-alonger, with no more watch-along till after Christmas. But 3 wins from 3. We are right smack back in it. And the fact is, Liverpool, Arsenal, them lot, they will be concerned. And you know, that's not my motivation in life. I want to see United back on top. But I think this season, as a league season, looked like it was a bit dead and buried a few weeks ago because of the amount of points we were wasting at home to West Ham and Burnley and Stoke and Arsenal and Fellaini at Everton. 10 points dropped. So to come back, you know, at the end of the season, no matter what, we know we will all look back in May and go, we could have had another 10 points at least because we threw them away. And if we can get into the top 4, and I firmly believe we'll finish above Liverpool and Arsenal. In fact, I've gone record on saying it. I think the title might be a bit difficult this year. I think anybody talking about that, it's going to be very difficult. But I think to get top 4, Champions League looked like it might be quite difficult a couple of weeks ago. We've just won the game, folks. It is there to be done. Brilliant, absolutely superb. Sunderland and Borough to come at home. 6 points there on a plate. It's there for us. Top 4 is there for us. And football changes very quickly. But brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I disagree with Bazza Morris saying West Brom are shit. I think I watched them against Chelsea last week. They deserved a point. They played very well midweek. I think you're underestimating what is meant to be 2 players that we should have sold in the summer in Rojo and Jones. What a turnaround from Mourinho. Absolutely superb. A really good result. Really happy with it. Over 1,000 likes as per usual. They're all down to you. They are yours. Watch-alongs. I might present it, but you're up on the screen there. You're up on the screen for me to read. Can't do it without those. So that's all for you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be doing a live match reaction in a few minutes, but we always end the watch-along quite quickly after full time, and I'll be back with a live match reaction in a couple of minutes. But watch out for the stream of that. Subscribe to the channel. Get involved. Absolutely ecstatic. What a result. Gather my thoughts and I'll be back in a few minutes.